This is a test. For the next 60 seconds, this station will be conducting a test of the emergency broadcast system. This is only a test.
Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow. Meow meow meow. Meow 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 meow.
In cooperation with your local stations, this was a test of the emergency broadcast system. We now return you to your regular show.
Yeah, I just didn't have anything else going for me, so yeah. Good morning, Anubis. Good morning, Buzz. Good morning, Water Jabbers. And welcome to the IRS, the internet's only stream dedicated to insomnia and apparently to cats and heat. Go away, cat. Go away. No, go away. I don't care. Go away. Oy. So, as I'm waiting for my co-host, the magical, magnificent, and sometimes maleficent Kadun, I shall regale you with what I found out. Now, some of you may know the story of my mystical, magical, maniacal quest to get my second monitor. I never thought it would be that difficult to get 21.5 inches of LCD from China, but apparently it was. Just to catch everybody up, my cat, go away. I'm going to play kitty bagpipes. Yeah, I will. I will. Don't tempt me. Good morning, Cadet.
Hey, Doc.
I was just filling people in. I got a email from the people that I bought my second monitor from.
Yeah?
Got it today.
Yeah?
I didn't get the monitor. I just got an email from them.
Oh.
Yeah. Apparently, it was what they like to do is put a whole bunch of stuff in a shipping container and send it. Saves them on their shipping. And so, it came into New York's customs. It was supposed to go to a freight forwarder somewhere in New York. Now, this is where it kind of gets fuzzy. But either when it went to the freight forwarder or when it was trying to pass through customs, they held it up because they believed it was counterfeit merchandise.
Wow.
I don't know if the monitor was supposedly counterfeit merchandise or if just some of the shit that came along with it was counterfeit merchandise. But all I know is I didn't get a monitor and they're going to be refunding me. They're like, oh, we can send you another monitor. And I'm like, no, thank you very much. All right, come here. Come here. Come here. You seem to want to be part of the show. Say hi to everybody, and then you can go piss off. Either that or I play kitty bagpipes. That's what I thought. Piss off. Look, it's a squirt bottle. It's magic. It makes kitties disappear. Hi, I'm Billy Mays, and if you want to make your cats disappear, have I got a product for you? Oh, good morning, Lo-Fi.
Hello.
I think she might be safe and sound back in the native land.
Oh, she's She's safe, but
And a very good morning to you. Hey, man, nice shot.
hey, man, nice shot.
What are you doing over there? I hear some clickering going on.
I am lighting a fire.
Oh. Now, hopefully it's in like a fireplace.
Oh, I'm supposed to put it in the fireplace. Oh God, Muffin, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're farted. No. It's warmer now, though.
Wait a minute. Is that our mystical, magical mascot that I hear?
It is. It is me. I cannot actually be like on the stream because like I have to work tomorrow morning too, and like today kicked my ass on only 2.5 hours of sleep.
Just knowing that you did a run-in is good.
Oh, well, thanks. Good morning to everybody that's already there, and to anybody that's listening once the stream is over. And good morning, Doc, and I hope your stream goes really well.
Yeah, we were talking about how you were a cutie last night once you went to bed.
Oh yeah, we talked a lot about you.
I don't know how I feel about the way you said that.
That was the sound of evil.
Yes, which is why I said I wasn't sure how I felt about the way she said, "Oh yeah." No, we were definitely talking about you.
Well, if it's any consolation, I was a complete gentleman.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
At least one of us was. Doc was the only gentleman. He was the only one. The rest of us were all like, "Yeah, Muffin." she's. Is that judgment I see?
Not judgment, just amusement.
Well, and yeah, we got a couple of oohs out of Kuhn once he saw the pictures.
Wait, which pictures did you show him? What pictures were shown? I'm really confused. The one that I posted. Was that? Oh, okay.
It was the one on the Twitters.
Gotcha.
Mm.
I'm like, he follows me. That's like the second picture I've posted of myself. The first one I look way better in. But that's because there's like a bunch of makeup and stuff all over my face from Halloween a couple years ago.
Oh, well, you look cute anyway.
Well, thank you.
Good morning, Remy.
Good morning. Personally, at this point, Doc, I feel like my face looks weird to me, but that's just because, like, I was fat ever since I was a kid. And, like, I always just thought I had a round face because my face was always round. And then I recently dropped, like, a bunch of weight, and it's not round anymore.
How much did you drop, if you don't mind me asking?
In about a year and a half, I dropped 106 pounds.
My God.
Yes.
Well done.
Thank you.
It took me, took me 10 years to go from 327, and now I'm down to 171.
All right, you probably did it in a much healthier way than I did.
Oh,
like
hell no. Yeah.
No? Okay.
No, not at all. I changed my diet, was doing a little bit of exercise, but yeah, it was mostly yeah, I would say probably it was mostly getting off fucking caffeine and most soda pop.
No, thank you. See, I have not cut any caffeine nor soda pop out of my diet. I actually drink predominantly Monster and just Monster. I did it the super unhealthy way by getting really stressed out and not eating for days at a time, and then still going out and walking and doing my regular everyday routine.
Same. I only lost 24 pounds in like 6 months though.
Well, I mean, like, okay, the first half of my weight loss, though, was me actually doing it the right way by, like, cutting most processed sugars out of my diet, eating more protein, eating more vegetables, actually going for, like, active fast walks every day. Like, I'd get off the bus, like, 3 or 4 stops sooner than I would normally get off the bus, and then I'd walk the rest of the way to work. It wasn't until after I moved to the other side of town that I lost the other half of it in a very unhealthy way.
Well, I don't eat a lot anymore. I kind of slowed my portions down, but since wifey got the paycheck, we did our one dine out thing,
Yeah.
and I got okay. What's your favorite kind of pizza?
Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
don't laugh at me. But
I
I
can't.
like spinach pizza.
You like spinach?
Yeah, I like spinach pizza with like white sauce on it and like chunks of garlic. I make my own pizza most of the time.
You mean like a garlic sauce, the white sauce?
Either garlic or Alfredo.
Okay. Okay. I can see that. See, now my combination is I con Domino's into doing this.
Okay.
You know how they have the chicken chunks with cheese and mango habanero sauce?
Yeah.
Okay. So I get a thin crust pizza. I get double pineapple and extra cheese. And then instead of tomato sauce, they put on the mango habanero.
All right.
And it is delicious. As a matter of fact, depending on how late we go, I will probably eat the other half of it.
That's all right. Honestly, I can't do spicy things anymore since I moved to Oregon because like in California, the air quality is really shitty. So like your sinuses are always full of nasty shit all the time.
Well,
But
that
like I
means
moved up here and it all cleared out, and now I've got like bitch taste buds again, and I can't do spicy things.
well, now I'm rolling a tear because then it'll never work out between the two of us.
I can still cook spicy food.
No, I am spicy.
Oh, you're spicy. Okay.
Cat, get away. All right. All right. Come here. Come here. No, come here. Yes. Oh, my God. Okay, guys. Avert your ears. It's time for the pressure point.
Until like potentially midnight.
Kitty.
Because it's like your dasher is still on his way to the restaurant. You see where the restaurant is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Bye. Go roll around. Yeah, and there she is. She ran 3 feet away from me, and now she's rolling all over the carpet. She is happy now. I feel like I should be in a trailer park in some type of abusive relationship with my cats.
That's kind of what it sounds like half the time, Doc.
Well, but you've heard cats fuck before, right?
Yes.
They're not like, ooh, purr, ooh, purr. It's all screaming and shouting. It's all like a revival of sex.
Well, yeah, that's because they got the barbed penises.
Cats don't have barbed penises. Raccoons do.
But
No,
cats,
do too.
yeah, cats do too.
Well, I always thought it was because that the male cat would normally bite down on the tuft of the back of their necks.
No,
Oh.
that's actually a comfort thing. That's
To keep them in the same spot so they don't freak the fuck out when a barbed penis goes in and out of them.
yeah. Like if you ever have like grab a cat by the back of the neck, like by the scruff of their neck, and like it almost paralyzes them. Now, mind you, as kittens, like that's a normal thing because it's how the moms pick them up and carry them around. But when they get older, they start developing, of course, more nerves and shit in their necks. And oh dear, come here,
It's
Rockstar.
kind of like
And-
the Vulcan death pinch.
Yes, it's not a negative thing. Actually, I know most cats tend to prefer that, or at least most cats that I've ever had.
Yeah, but they've never had a penis or anything else inserted into them.
Well, I have never inserted anything into my cat other than trying to like feed it like, whatever medicine that I'm trying to give it. so I don't know.
The black cat's just laying there on the other chair looking at me going, y'all niggas are fucking crazy. Yeah, say that about 2 weeks from now when you go into heat. Because usually when white cat goes into heat, or goes out of heat, then it's black cat's turn. I did have them both at once bugging the shit out of me when their heat coincided once, but oh man, I never want to see that happen again. Of course, black cat's different, and you know, if we're on long enough, down the road when black cat goes into heat, she's the bigger pain in the ass because she will caterwaul at the top of her lungs. She'll just go up and down the stairs and back and forth in the hallway and just howl until it's like, all right, goddammit, come here, cat. And she's the kind of cat that will sit at the bedroom door and just waller the whole time until you do the pressure point thing. Then she goes away for about 3 hours. But black cat is apparently my cat because, like, I'll admit, I feel like I'm much older now. In the past 2 weeks, I've been taking naps. And she will follow me to the bedroom, which, of course, no animals are allowed in the bedroom. I will shut the door, and she will sit at the bedroom door and wait for me to wake back up. If I nap more than 3 or 4 hours, she starts meowing for me. Which some people would consider it cute. I do not.
I don't either whenever I go into my bathroom. Whenever I go into my bathroom, my cat, Nessa, also a black cat, likes to sit outside the door and meow like crazy, even if I'm just in there like changing my clothes. So then I open the door to let her in, and she'll just sit there and stare at me and yell at me from outside my door, and I'm just like, come in or shut the fuck up and go away.
Oh, I missed a lot of good mornings. Good morning, Geo. Good morning, Cult of Krill. A very good morning to Victor Rand and Alex Martin and Tourish. And of course, we wouldn't forget you, Patrice.
Hi, everybody. I only partially caught some of those names that I can remember. So, hi to all the chat.
No, Geo, fingering implies that I'm actually putting something inside the cat. I am not. I am pressing down at where the tail connects on the side of it. And that's what makes her go the fuck away for a couple hours. And I will do that. Oh, by the way, did you notice I did add one thing? Kadant.
Mm?
Are you looking at the screen? Or are you still firebugging?
I'm firebugging, but don't worry, I'll get to it, I promise.
Yo, you be firebugging. But we did get black cherry soda, which its big tagline is the dark side of cherry.
Ooh.
I like it. It has no caffeine. Everybody else in the house hates it because they either want their Monster drinks or Mountain Dew or Joker or something that's got a shit ton of caffeine in it.
Did he just say Joker?
Yes.
No, Geo, if I was going to hell for anything, it certainly wouldn't be pressure pointing cats. Okay, so yeah, so now I'm requesting to once the money goes back on my card to get another monitor, and this time I'm going to get one that's in the United States. Fuck the dumb
so
shit.
There's no worry about overseas staying in New York checkpoint things.
Yeah. Fuck that shit. Everything else pretty much landed, but apparently not that. Good morning, another nobody.
Hi, another nobody.
Oh, wait a minute. Did you see the movie Bohemian Rhapsody? I had the choice between watching either Bohemian Rhapsody or Overlord. And I
You
watched
chose
Overlord.
Overlord.
Hence,
How was it?
I can see why they couldn't figure out how to shoehorn it into the shit. God damn it! What was the one? Yeah, I can't think of the name of it. The Cloverfield universe. Because Overlord was supposed to be one of those things that tangentially connected with the Cloverfield universe, and they just said fuck it, and didn't make any connections whatsoever. There were some good gore effects in it, but it was all in all pretty meh. It was kind of like a free TV movie. You knew where it was going the whole time. The only bad part about it was when they were speaking in French or German, because the guy who recorded it in the theater, he was in Russia, so you had Russian subtitles. I am immortal. I have inside me blood of kings. Yeah, I kind of like that song, but I still like Flash Gordon better.
Flash. Ah. Thank you, Muppet. You're welcome.
He's for every one of us. Stands for every one of us. Yeah, I was a Queen fan when they came out. I don't think anybody back in the early '70s wasn't a Queen fan, because back in the day it was like nobody knew who was gay, and they really just didn't care because everybody was flamboyant. We were revving up for disco at that point. Good morning, Mr. LM002.
Hi, Mr. LM.
So we're trying to figure this out, and I know Kadant and I have been talking much behind the scenes to figure out which 2 days that we're going to have off. And I think it's going to be it's depending on her schedule, though. But I think the 2 days that we're going to have off is the Sunday night / Monday morning and Monday night / Tuesday morning. I think. Yeah. I think I said that right?
I don't know. Like, honestly, it's whenever the fuck you want to do it. The main thing that we really should practice on is just cutting them short, because then, like, it's whenever you wanna, because if as long as I can at least pretend like I can get like some semblance, like I can run off of 4 hours of sleep beautifully. 2 hours I can do. It's rougher, but I can do it. 3 hours is my average. So depending on how my schedule is, is if we wind up not running for full 4 to 6 hours, then I should be fine either way.
So what is your favorite Queen song?
Mine?
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. So there's a couple. My so one that actually like is it kind of whenever I listen to it, I always have to sing with it. Oh, well, no, that's almost every Queen song. But the one that I have to listen to that brings back really amazing memories is Bohemian Rhapsody because that's the one that my mom had taught me and my sisters without meaning to teach me and my sisters. Like my mom would just listen to her Queen album, and my sisters and I would sing that song, and she would sing that song with us, and then that became like mine and my sister's karaoke song.
I will have to say that my favorite, it always has and always will be Fat Bottom Girls.
See, now my
Ah,
personal
there you go,
favorite,
Call Krill. Hell yeah.
now my personal favorite, Alex Martin. Alex Martin hit on gunpowder and guillotine dynamite with a laser beam, guaranteed to blow your mind because that reaches me, on a personal level because I like to consider myself a murderous fucking queen if I were to consider myself any kind of queen, which I don't.
So caviar and cigarettes, well versed in etiquette.
Oh, well versed in etiquette. I'm well versed. I just choose to say fuck etiquette.
Oh, now.
Oh yeah, because there's different forms of etiquette, depending on where you are and what you're doing and who you're interacting with, or just who you are in general. But I love Killer Queen. Bicycle was one of my favorites too. When that would play, me and my baby sister especially would always sing it because it's fun to sing Bicycle.
Good morning, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
I got a chance to listen to a lot of Queen because that was popular when I was coming up as a little kid. Mr. LM asks if Kadant will give Muffin a hug.
Yes, I will actually. You've not had the chance to meet the amazing or interact with the amazing Mr. LM002. You've probably seen him in chat before, but he's one of the few people like on this corner of the interwebs who I really think is like a genuinely good person, like overall. Like he's on the same level to me as Doc. I think he's genuinely a good person.
Well,
So.
then I will task you. I will task you.
Hold on.
Then I shall task you with this. Toss that link out to some people that you want in here today. And good morning, Jolly Rogers.
Hey, Jolly Rogers.
I'm really fucking tired.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna be like, is Ichabod awake?
Is Ichabod awake? Hey. Wait, no. You have to ask that the right way. Is Daddy awake?
You cannot predict the Coon of Doom.
What?
You cannot predict the Coon of Doom.
Well, I'm sure you can't, but that doesn't mean I can't be curious.
Well, let's see if that worked. Okay, yeah, it did.
What do you mean?
I put a new feature on because people were doing the Stream Boss thing. So so I put a Stream Boss thing up there. So in case people ever want to scrap, it's there now.
Cult of Krill.
Well, no, because his nemesis is not around.
True.
But I don't know how the pointing system works. I did put in like critical hits and all that, and I jacked it up from 1,000 to 10,000. Well, I have no idea what the fuck is going on now. Goddamn technology.
Yeah, I don't know shit about tech. Like it's all confusing to me.
Okay, well that seemed to work. There you go. Okay. Yeah, I think it's working. Fuck it. I don't care. Just another doodad on the damn screen. More shit to play with. More bells and whistles. Yeah, called a krill. I had no idea how to do it, but when it got mentioned, I'm like, well, shit. I guess I should probably research that. Yes, someone in the sky, light the coon symbol.
Dun, 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 dun. Is there a number we can call?
Well, sure, but it's directly to the dude who's driving, not to DoorDash.
Yeah. No, I would call that number.
Well, sure, but if I call that number right now, chances are he's going to drop the order and we'll have to wait even longer.
What are you guys talking like calling a phone sex line? What the hell?
No. Okay, so what's it? I'm a bad person and I didn't eat today. And so Muffin's like, all right, we're getting food from DoorDash. And the driver of DoorDash that we have, well, all right, Muffin, you think you can explain this better? Because yes.
So normally with DoorDash, especially if they go to a fast food place, like the company DoorDash will make sure that the restaurant is actually open, but they generally have the driver. They give them the list of what you wanted ordered that you've already technically paid for. This person then goes to the drive-thru, orders it through the drive-thru, and then brings it to you. So originally it said our food was supposed to be here at 11:44. It still says that the guy is heading to the restaurant even though he's been driving fucking circles around the goddamn place for the last like 10 fucking minutes.
Okay.
And it still says heading to restaurant. Like he's literally in the parking lot of the restaurant, and I can see it because it has like a little like marker thing on a map showing you where the restaurant is and then where your house is. And he's literally in the parking lot and has been driving in circles around this bitch for like the last 10 minutes, and it still fucking says heading to restaurant. And I'm about ready to call him and be like, what the actual fuck do you think you're doing, dumbass? I'm tired and I'm hungry, so I'm really angry right now.
You're frumpy.
I am very grumpy.
She's angry.
Good morning, anti-hero.
Good morning.
So, Kadant,
Yes.
have you picked a couple people to send links out to?
I will. Okay, first off, hi Anti. Second off, I will, Mr. LM, and third, I tossed a couple of links in Twitter DMs. I'm about to toss another.
Okay.
But probably via Discord. The
Oh, you know what? There's nothing better than a bamboo back scratcher. Oh, that's so good. Yeah.
I used to have so many of those in my house.
It was so funny. A lady I used to work with, she's Polynesian. And she has family that lives in Hawaii. And she went to... she goes like every couple of years to go visit them. And she came up to me before she left, and she's like, what kind of souvenir can I bring back? Do you want pineapple? And I was like, back scratcher. Hawaii has great back scratchers. So she comes back and she's like, here you go. And she had a little bow tied around a back scratcher that was about 6 inches long. And I'm like, what kind of fucking cock tease is this? I can't read shit with this. And she was like, just kidding. And then she brings out one that's like a 1.5 foot long with a big, huge hand on it. Like a big monkey hand. And I'm like, oh, I know who I'll be sleeping with this evening. So, yes, don't go for those. Like, if you see them at the dollar store and they're those plastic back scratchers, you might as well just pass them up. Get yourself some bamboo. And speaking of getting me some, I'm going to eat some of this pineapple habanero mango pizza.
Ooh. I miss pizza. Why does pizza have to be so bad to my body? Like,
it doesn't.
but it is every single time.
That sounds like a living hell.
Hi, Mr. LM.
Hello.
And welcome to the stream.
Thank you very much, Doc. I'm pretty decent. Yourself?
I'm lighting fires, so there's my happy spot right there.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a pyro myself. I've just never managed to burn anything down that was important, so I guess that's kind of the goal for the average pyro. Try not to do something that'll get you arrested.
Well, that's why you do the fires in a nice private place where they can't complain, because look, this is made for fires.
Oh yeah.
The girl who once started burning a whole bunch of Girl Scout cookie boxes in the parking lot of
Oh, that sounds metal. That sounds pretty fucking metal.
You know what? Those Girl Scout cookie boxes needed to be burned. I was cold.
in the parking lot of a hookah bar.
Hey, it wasn't underneath anybody's car, so I don't see why anybody would. You know what? His car would have deserved it. Okay?
I could so see Kadun like make a miniature hobo fire out of like the little tin cup that they'll take the money in, and just put the cardboard boxes in there and light them up.
She didn't even do that though. She literally took like 2 or 3 Girl Scout cookie cardboard boxes and then like walked like down the way a little bit from the hookah bar where they had those like the Penny Saver magazine like booklet thingies, and picked up like a stack of them and then walked back over and started like ripping them apart and making kindling, and like literally made like a little pile of burnable shit and then lit it on fire. And I'm just like, what are you doing?
That's awesome.
And she's just looked at me and she's like, I'm cold. There are other ways to go about getting warm that don't involve technically arson.
No. It's only arson if it catches a building and you get caught.
No, it's only arson if it's intentional.
No, only if it's a building and you get caught. Like that's it. Those are it wasn't arson. It was on the asphalt of a parking lot, and everything was fine. People were safe. You know what? Fuck the plans. Like, I don't care if they caught fire. I was cold. I had reason.
I mean, they were the small plants growing out of the cracks in the ground, but still.
Hey. It's okay. It's all right. They didn't need to be there. There's civilization. They needed to stop trying to grow wild in the parking lot. Like, what do you think you're doing? What are you doing, plants? You're either going to get run over or you're going to get burned. Here's your choices. Guess which one I chose for you.
Why did you turn into, like, where did the accent come from is my question.
Don't ask me questions I don't know the answer to. You should know this by now. Things just spew forth from my mouth.
Wait a minute, I'm trying. Oh, good God! I must not be doing this right.
What are you not doing right, Doc?
Streamlabs.
Why?
Cold of Krill threw in 5 to say, this is a test to see HP loss. And I don't know if I'm doing it right.
I think it should be. Here's a tip: learn to fucking drive and get the food here when it's supposed to be here.
I do have overkill mode engaged too. So I think that's a good thing. And I think the modifier is like 2 or 4 times.
Ooh.
I don't know. But thank you, Cold of Krill.
Thanks. Thank you, Krill.
So who did you invite?
Well,
There's one obvious one.
yeah.
Yep.
I also threw a link to everybody's favorite necromancer in case he was up and bored, and instead of sleeping like he probably should be, because why not? I threw a link to our favorite foreign pastry. And
oh no, I told Jolly Rogers that I'd get him on, but I don't know what he is on the Twitters. Yeah, I did throw one out to Lo-Fi, but she's getting snuggled up to sleep.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, sleep is important.
What is sleep?
Right. I've already I came up against the wall of exhaustion earlier today and then busted through it like a Kool-Aid man.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh maybe.
And
yeah.
Alex, you are wrong. The pineapple and cheese with habanero sauce instead of tomato sauce is the shit.
Is Alex hating on your pizza
God,
choices?
that sounds like diarrhea. That I mean, it's tasty now, and then you're gonna be hugging the toilet, just holding on for dear life.
Yeah, only if this pizza was made by Chipotle.
Well, it's habanero sauce.
Oh no, I'm very well versed with heat.
God. Fair enough. If you could pull it off, all the more credit to you, man. I love spicy, but spicy and me don't get along.
Well, it's when you start doing the scorpions.
Mm-hmm.
That's when things start getting a little bit shady for me. And good morning, Daniel Russo.
Morning.
And I have my big hospital jug next to me, so I can drink all the water I want.
Oh.
All right, that's okay. Cool. Just give me a holler, Jolly Rogers, when you can.
Do the thing. Do it. You know you wanna.
Delicious and nutritious, and fish fucking it. Water. It's what's good for you.
Oh, I got really confused for a second.
Yeah, I was like, since when did fish fucking pizza? I mean, there's anchovies.
Right. You gotta give a little more context a little sooner, I think.
All right, if you guys hear screaming, it's not me beating the shit out of my DoorDash driver.
It's totally, yeah. Disavow.
No, you're supposed to clamp the hand around the mouth before you do the damage.
Oh, that sounds kinky, though. I mean, what?
I have a
Depends on
feeling there
what-
are many things in the world that sound kinky to you, Kadun.
You are not wrong. That is a very true statement, and I have no regrets. Okay, that's not true. I have a few regrets.
I think I only have 2.
Are we talking sexual regrets or just regrets in general?
I never
Oh.
regret sex.
There. Yeah.
Hey, Merc, I've got a show coming up either in late January or early February. I'm going to have the guys on from Pepper Palace, and they're going to send me an assortment of their hot sauces, including one they call The End, which has been reported to actually remove a layer of stomach lining.
What the fuck?
So I'm kind of looking forward to that one. I mean, the one I kind of like that heats me up, you know, the kind that makes your scalp sweat. The one that I'm liking right now is the Scorpion, and I do want to try out the what's it called? It's the lemon. It's a lemon chili pepper. It's basically between a habanero and a ghost pepper.
That sounds tasty, though.
And
Although I'm a
it's
spicy person,
well, it's got a little citrus kick to it.
I'm okay with that. I like citrus.
Oh yeah, no, I'm really interested in trying them. I'm probably going to have to end up growing them though.
I actually heard something interesting on the Joe Rogan podcast not too long ago. So there's some guy, I think he's in Sweden. He was distilling hard liquor, and he was like mixing various things in it. And I think he did like habanero peppers. And the way they distill it, you don't get any of the capsaicin, but you get all of the flavor. So there's just, I mean, now there's just crazy shit that's coming out of there. I mean,
They're called lemon drop. Lemon drop peppers.
ooh.
I'd be willing to try some of those capsaicin free, just curious, out of curiosity.
Oh yeah. Well, I think you can only buy it in 2 places in the U.S., but it would definitely be worth trying.
Oh, for sure. And anti-hair. God damn it. You're such a dick. I have no comments. I will neither confirm nor deny whether, in the sexual sense, that was one of my regrets. But anyway.
Regrets, you've had a few, but then again, a few to mention. Actually, the capsaicin are only between 30 and 50,000 on the Scoville.
Oh,
So that's kind of mild, really.
yeah. Hey, Michael.
Good morning, Michael.
Pepper-based beers? What's a pepper-based beer?
Yeah, they add pepper to it.
Like, that's it? Like black pepper, or what is it?
Oh, no, it's usually some form of cayenne for heat. Oh wow, the lemon drop is only 15 to 30,000 Scoville. So the capsaicin would be, or capsicum, yeah, capsicum. It's part of that family, but apparently it's a little milder. But that sounds really good to put in like chili.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny because the people that live with me are not real big heat people, or at least they weren't, and I got them used to it. Now, wifey does not like the taste of jalapenos, but I can't think of a time when I don't cook, and if I'm mixing something from scratch, I usually always put in cayenne flakes, because of course, as long as you have heat in your diet, that helps to clean cholesterol from your arteries. Have I shocked you all with medical knowledge?
It ain't worth the diarrhea, man. That's all I can say. I'd just rather eat better. And that's some shit coming from me, because I used to eat horribly.
Well, there are three things that can help you bodily that are a spice. Cayenne, cinnamon, because cinnamon helps to lower your blood sugar if you take it frequently or in capsulized form. And one of my favorites, well, there's garlic, of course, too, but everybody knows garlic. My other favorite one is ginger, because ginger is a natural body modifier. What it does is, like, in really cold weather, it'll crank up your internal body heat. It won't give you a fever, but it'll crank up your actual internal body heat and keep you warmer.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Beer is
Yeah.
a bitch drink anyway. I'm just gonna, cause anti-hero in the chat was talking about Stone Brewing makes a beer called Crime. Fun fact: the only thing criminal about Crime is what a waste of fucking beer it is. It is vile. Well, beer is for bitches. That's all I'm going to say. Like, hard liquor or nothing. Like, get the fuck out of here with your fucking 3.5 alcohol. No, don't be a little bitch. Go get yourself a fucking shot of whiskey.
Yeah, all I could say is it depends. I think hard liquor is the way to go in most instances, but say you're having a nice meal, you can't just be like pounding shots while eating a big steak and cheese fries or some shit like that. You'll fucking puke.
Wait, according to... Okay, all right, Mr. LM, I think you're amazing. I think you're wonderful. But if you can't have, like, just a cocktail with a drink, or with your meal, like if you have to have beer because it's better, like if you're going to have an alcoholic drink, why would you ever go for beer? And if you're, and I'm not saying pound shots while you're eating, because
fuck.
What? What?
I lost where Jolly Roger said I can send to him.
Oh Jesus, you're roboting, or at least on my end you are.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, you're better now.
JR Bridgewater. Oh, did I piss you off, anti-hero? Go ahead, explain to me how. I will throw you the link so you can go ahead and try and yell at me.
Aha, there he is.
It'd be really cute.
And now? And you now have the link on your Twitters.
There you go.
And I'm following you too.
I take it you don't like mead either, Cadet?
It depends on the mead. Some of them, I've tried a couple, and anti-hero. Yeah, you're talking about a good stout. I'm talking about the stuff people normally drink, which is like, I think the highest most people tend to go for are the ones that are like 3.5% alcohol, whatever. That's bitch. That's some bitch ass shit.
Some people though don't drink beer because they want to get drunk. Some people do drink beer for the flavor, like because there are some beers that have good flavors too. That
Oh,
I don't care.
I
Fuck
think
beer.
beer's
Waste of
nice,
time.
just like it's It's savory. It's a savor. Depending on the beer, they're more of a savory taste, and so you can actually drink it and enjoy it with a meal, compared to like wine. Like I can't stand wine. To me, wine tastes like just fucking trash balsamic vinegar.
You should try dessert wines.
I just don't like wine. I
I
don't know
tell
what
you
it
what,
is.
Australia makes
know?
some decent wines.
Dessert, yeah, dessert wines are pretty good.
There's a brand called Sapel, and man, they make good white and red. But then again, the only time that I ever really usually drink wine is when I'm at fancy dinner occasions. So you're not there to get a buzz anyway. So my whole stand with alcohol is, if you're going to drink, you drink to get a buzz, and don't waste your fucking time with beer, because it's going to take a shitload longer than it is just by pounding 4 or 5 shots.
Unless you're Muffin, because Muffin hasn't had any like serious booze in 7 years. So like a quarter, not even a quarter, like 3 or 4 sips off of a beer, and I'm like, I feel great. I love everybody. This is wonderful.
It'd be like me if I took a hit of weed. All of a sudden,
No.
I'm grabbing onto a fucking post.
Nothing is trying to steal my life force when I drink booze.
Well, no, but I'm saying like your tolerance for booze
Oh,
is at the same levels like my tolerance for weed, because I don't smoke weed. So like one and I should be good. And same with you. When it comes to like beer, you could have one of those little
I
like
can't even finish one, dude. I literally take 3 or 4 sips and I'm done, and I pour the rest of it out because I don't want the rest of it.
yeah.
Jesus.
It's been 7 years, man. I quit drinking 7 years ago.
I mean, fair enough.
Oh, I've been drinking the that Bonnie Rose white whiskey recently for shows. Because technically, the only time that I really drink now is when I'm doing Doctor on Call. It seems fitting.
Is it working?
Seems to be.
Scotch,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
never
well,
acquired a
Jesus
taste for
Christ.
Scotch, but the shittiest liquor that's out there is fucking gin.
I hate gin.
I don't think I've ever had gin.
It's so not worth it. Like I don't understand the draw of gin. Scotch. There's some really good scotches that I've had. Nice and smoky. Like it's kind of amazing. Like I always wonder how they get that kind of flavor into a liquid. But I'm definitely a rum. I'm a rum chick.
I
Like
was a vodka.
And
I mean,
and Kadant, let us welcome 2 new people to the stream. Some guy named Antihero and Jolly Rogers Bilgewater.
hello,
Hello.
my fancy hero, and hi, Jolly Rogers. Hello.
I'm just a little upset with you right now.
Go ahead.
Just a little bit. I mean, you're out here talking shit about beer when you clearly don't know enough to talk shit about it.
Listen, when the people that I've dealt with who consider themselves beer drinkers,
Herzel and Broncos.
no, they're not beer drinkers, but like my roommate, the alcoholic that was down in California, and she considers herself a beer drinker, and she's just like, oh, hard liquors are in, like she's so against it, and her idea of drinking is she can have 2 tall cans of a fucking Bud Light, and she's hammered off her fucking ass, and then
Bud
she
Light's
talks
not
about how
beer.
she talks about how she has such a high tolerance, and I'm just like, you disgust me, you weak bitch.
Wait.
Right. So
Okay.
my preferred beer back when I was able to drink was by New Holland Brewing Company. It's called Dragon's Milk, and that is anywhere from 10 to 13% depending on the batch.
I've had it.
Um,
It's delicious.
It's absolutely lovely. And
so
if you're stupid and try to drink 2 bottles of it, unless you have a very high tolerance, you will be on your ass because you won't expect it to happen because it's a 10 to 13% alcohol beer. Generally speaking, if it was less than about 8%, I wasn't drinking it. In fact, most of my family wasn't drinking it, with the exception of the occasional summer lager, Pils, or Kolsch.
Can
Well, I
I?
can't
my-
talk shit because I'm drinking Bush Light right now.
My family's real heavy on beer snobbery. If we're gonna talk about scotches and whiskeys, you can't beat the Lagavulin 16.
Well, wait. Do you know where Dragon's Milk comes from?
Dragon tits.
would assume.
No, it comes from a cow with short legs.
See, this is 13%, alcohol by volume, and me, I'm used to just downing bottles of rum by myself.
Right? Because I'm sitting here like
Oh,
13%
God.
Wait.
alcohol
Did
per
that?
volume. And if you drank 2 bottles, you'd be on your ass. And I'm like, I literally was in a drinking contest and drank 3 Marines under the table, one right after the other. And the challenge was to chug nasty ass pop off a whole fucking bottle by yourself. And I did it 3 in a row, and then immediately turned around and just walked out of the room like
Well,
it's nothing.
I did preface that entire statement by saying, unless you have an extremely high tolerance, which if you were drinking nothing but hard liquor, then you have a high tolerance.
Yeah.
And a good morning, metaphorist.
From the Midwest.
I mean, there was a period in my life where I would drink a bottle of rum a night, and my tolerance was ridiculous. But I don't do that anymore because it was slowly killing me.
Yeah, I've been there.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
but
really
at least,
disgusting?
but at least you knew your executioner.
Exactly. It was me and Captain Morgan hand in hand.
Yeah, it was Jaeger for me. Oh,
When's
God.
when's the last time you guys drank Hennessy?
Oh,
That would have
geez.
been
cheap.
roughly 6 months ago.
God, I hate that shit.
It's
I'm
been
fucking-
it's been a long time. I got back with some of my brothers that I lived in the project with, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we drinking Hennessy tonight, y'all."
I live in the fucking woods, y'all. I've never even seen Hennessy.
I
Yeah, hopefully
My,
you don't, man. That stuff tastes like shit.
My celiac is bad enough that I can't actually drink beer anymore, or any wheat-based alcohol. The second I do, roughly half a bottle of beer, and I'm in the bathroom crying again. I try to avoid
My
crying in the
condolences.
bathroom, but I can still drink rum, and there is one rum
Yeah.
called Doc Brown's Really Bad Rum that has the most delightful, rich, buttery, smooth flavor I've ever had. It is just absolutely amazing. I don't know if it's only here in Massachusetts. If it's not, then you should go buy it and try it.
You know,
Does it
anti-hero.
send you
I
back
don't
in
think
time? 'Cause I feel like it should.
we would get along if we went out to have a drink, because I'm sensing a lot of alcohol snobbery here.
Only if people try and tell me, if you just let me drink, I will happily shut up and talk about whatever you want.
Because
I mean, that
I tell you, we went, well, like when I lived in North Carolina, you could go down to South Carolina and they had what they called a plantation tour,
mhm.
and they would literally shuttle you from plantation to plantation, where you would proceed to drink a lot of wine, because there are quite a few vineyards down there in South Carolina.
Well, Doc, I'll tell you this much. If you and I ever go do a bar crawl or something like that, as long as you don't look at me and say, "Why don't you drink something real?" Whenever I'm drinking, we will have zero problems. I have no issue with you drinking whatever the hell you want to drink, as long as you don't complain about whatever I'm drinking.
As long as you're 70 proof or higher, then I will
If we're
maintain
drinking hard liquor, then
respect.
I'll be going for the rum, and rum is usually at least 70.
Oh, rum, I don't care. Yeah.
Or depending on how fast we're going, like I said, the Lagavulin 16, the Scotch.
Well,
That's
this
that's beautiful.
white whiskey that I'm doing is only 70 proof.
If you haven't tried, like I said, that Lagavulin 16, Doc, if you're okay with the Scotch, oh my word, it's like drinking down campfire smoke. It is just beautiful. It's rich and peaty. Oh man.
Well, see, last thing I was enamored with was Blanton's. That is some good Kentucky whiskey.
I'm a big fan of that Bullet bourbon.
I tell you what, that Blanton's, man, it went down so smooth, and it was so warm, and it welcomed me like a friend that I haven't seen in a while.
That's why I
That's
love
part about
those.
the whiskey.
That's why I love those dark spiced rums. because they do the same exact thing as far as I'm concerned. It's just that warm and fuzzy on the inside kind of feeling where you can drink a little bit and just be happy for a couple hours. Doesn't really matter how.
I want rum now.
Yeah.
You get the, oddly enough, you get the exact same effect off of merely sniffing moonshine.
Yeah,
Depends
dark
on the
liquor
grade
gives
of
you the worst
moonshine.
hangovers, man.
Yeah, the good moonshine. Good old
Oh,
corn
so
liquor.
you gotta drink the way I drink, which is you drink while also just inhaling huge amounts of food.
Oh
Yep.
God.
That's the key to longevity.
I eat like a if I decide to have a serious sit down drunk, I eat like a motherfucker.
No,
And
Absolutely.
mostly, well, I can't do it as much as I used to because back when I was seriously drinking, it was a lot of bread products,
Yep.
which I can't really eat now. But
Bread
you know,
and greasy ass food.
you just eat a shit ton of just food in general. Just put food in your face, drink lots of water on the side. Have a bottle of Gatorade at some aspirin by your bed, and you should wake up mostly okay.
only thing I do is I do whiskey with a water back, and when I get drunk enough, then that's the time where you get bar pizza.
Your other option, and this is an old army trick, just go on a 10-mile run the next morning.
Oh God.
That'll fix every hangover you
filter.
got right there.
I like the old Air Force trick where the guy or the pilots would just be drunk as shit and they'd just crawl into their airplanes, and they just turn on the oxygen all the way, and your hangover's gone instantly.
Oh, that's cheating.
There's also the
You have
medic
to
trick.
suffer.
There's also the old medics trick where they'll take just a saline bag and just jack themselves up.
Good morning, Deborah. And no, we are not getting drunk and fingering Asian girlfriends.
Whoa, hold
If
up.
only.
Love on this stream that has an Asian girlfriend is anti.
Yeah, like nobody better be fingering any Asian girlfriend here except for me.
Well,
you
you could
ever so slightly upset with that.
well you can only finger a
I
half
can't
Asian
confirm
girlfriend.
Asians don't live in the woods.
Too bad you're not Stretch Armstrong.
How do you know?
There that like I would hope I have a choice in this matter. Like if anybody's saying they're gonna finger me, like please no, like ask me first. So I
Well, no.
My hero was Stretch
I love
Armstrong.
you, Buffett.
I
And
don't actually want to,
I
it's okay.
swear I will find a way to pay you back for letting me stay in your apartment for now. But I would prefer it not be that way because I am not a whore.
Okay.
Well, Kadan, you are
I only
safe.
play one on the internet.
Kadan, you are safe because it was specifically mentioned as an Asian girlfriend. You are half Asian, so you are safe.
Oh, and the other half of me is another kind of Asian. Cock Asian.
Oh, she went there.
I did. Like that
There's a
happened.
dick joke somewhere in that comment.
I know. You want to know what the dick joke is going to be? I cannot wait to have some Sicilian.
Well, I will be happy to accommodate you as soon as I'm given the opportunity.
Okay, good. Cause,
Oh, you guys are so cute.
You're just jealous.
I just get the mom dad vibe going
God
on
damn
here.
it. Bring up the spooch thing. Damn it, Muffin. No.
Wait a
Who's
minute.
spooging?
Spook?
Oh, is this the thing where she wants to be spooged to the wall again? Because I
No,
really
don't
can't do
want
that.
to the wall.
Like we talked about this. Like even
Oh
on my
my.
good days, I can't generate enough jizz to stick you to the wall. This is like
Hey.
a weird fetish of hers. She wants
Hey.
to be stuck to the wall with cum. I don't understand it. I can't accomplish that.
Get
I
one
can
of those-
jack off all
What-
day and still not be able to do it.
What you do is you go find an old school surplus store.
I don't
Find some
need
of
to
that
know.
old
This
school
doesn't.
Nickelodeon slime balls and
no,
just throw it at
no.
her.
No.
No,
The
no, I'm good.
There is
Thank you.
one solution and only one solution. You get an aquarium pump, you get a bad dragon squirting dildo, and you get like as much of that cum lube as you could buy.
No,
And you just fucking hook it up,
Oh,
and it just
God.
No, I'm good.
No,
I
see,
swear to Christ, if somebody starts
LM,
deciding that like
I asked her about this. Like we went over the only way she'll be happy is if it's organic, real seminal fluids
Okay,
from my
okay.
ball sack. And you I got nothing, man.
Dude, all I could say is that fucking bad dragon cum lube some dangerous shit, man. If you get that shit anywhere on the floor or anything, you will eat shit immediately. It's like that is the hardest shit to get rid of. And
I want to. Does anybody else think this sounds like experience talking here?
Hey, it's nothing that goes in me. It's
Hey, I don't
things
judge,
I
man.
put inside. Hey, man.
Inside of yourself?
No, I put myself into it.
Wasn't there that one episode with the prostate massager?
I didn't use that for
Oh,
that.
Christ.
And that yes. Do I have to tell this story? I'll gladly tell this
Actually,
story.
I do have a different question. That's a slight segue.
Yes.
You're the thing you're using the cum lube for.
Yes.
We're going to ignore the fact that you're shoving your dick into what's called cum lube. We're going to go past that. I just want to know: is your fleshlight a bad dragon fleshlight?
Well, I mean, many of them are, and then
Oh
some
my
are
word!
actual flesh.
You fucking furry.
Hey, they got interesting textures. I don't give a fuck.
That's
Isn't that
true.
just like
Like, if you
synthetic
look at-
sloppy seconds?
One thing I will say about in comparison to fleshlights is fleshlights they don't hold up worth a shit. They might as well be made of paper mache, the thinnest paper mache you can get, because you will rip them the fuck apart with just casual use.
I've only
Bad
ever
dragon?
known one person to damage a bad dragon dildo, and that's
Yeah,
Lo-Fi.
lo-fi. Yeah,
Oh,
lo-fi and the
no.
asshole or the dick breaking asshole.
Lo-Fi with her mighty
Yeah.
Danish anus.
And
Yes.
Kadan,
Yes, Doc.
when did I lose control?
You told me to leave people. When you told me, is there anybody that you want to throw a link to? And I'm just like, oh yes.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
Well, I think I think Deborah's done for the evening. So if you are actually going, have a great morning, Deborah.
Later, Deborah.
I'm
Fox,
sorry
I'm
we scared her
reminded-
off.
Hey,
I'm
man,
going
this
to
is the
remind you that
internet.
This is me.
I feel
That-
bad now.
Why?
You shouldn't feel
I
bad.
don't.
This is the internet. People need to get used to this shit.
Because we scared a Doc fan away with our crazed prostate massage anal lube conversation.
Hey, I did not. Well, for one, cum lube
There'll
has never been
always be
inside
more
of me.
fans.
Two, I only used a prostate massager once with very disastrous results. Not like Opal, where she had to go to the hospital after her first time having anal because she's bleeding out basically through her ass.
Oh my god.
My
Let's-
anus is bleeding.
So I've never had.
I'm
So, I never
Opal,
had
and I'm
that problem.
hemorrhaging.
The things you hear at 3:30 in the morning. What the fuck?
Hey, if I gotta tell the story, I will. But it is not. Well, I guess it is funny, but
Does
it's
it
not the
involve
most-
anal bleeding? Because that's not
Yes,
a
it
fun
does.
story. That's not a. There's nothing fun about the story. This just sounds awful.
Well, now
Hey.
my mom's former boss got raped by a bottlenose dolphin.
That
That may be
happens.
somebody who did.
I guess yeah.
Dolphins are
That's
quite
that's an
rapey.
instance of funny anal bleeding, I would suppose.
Yeah, first day they
Funny
were in
panel.
Australia, they went swimming with the dolphins, and apparently he had a purdy pucker, and he ended up the whole week being in the hospital while they stitched up his little butthole.
Well, the problem is he went to Australia.
What happened to your wetsuit? You need a wetsuit. That's like the thickest condom you could get. That'd help keep that shit out. Don't go out there in fucking a speedo. Oh, shit, Elton,
No,
Have you
hear that.
seen a dolphin dick? That's not going to
Kidun's-
stop that.
Kadun's totally right though. He went to Australia.
I mean, I'd rather get fucked by a dolphin than fucked by a spider. They got some big ass motherfucking spiders there.
Yeah, but spiders don't have penises to fuck you with.
No, they don't.
Exactly.
But a spider could crawl in your anus.
Oh, maybe yours, Mr.
not
Prostate
not
Massager.
mine.
Hey, I ain't saying it's a big spider. But
Look,
I say, imagine getting
Look,
some.
there is no spider small enough to crawl into my pucker. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Annie on that one.
Like, at no point is my pucker ever open enough for any spider of any size to be like, that looks like a cozy home. Like that's
Okay,
never
okay.
gonna happen.
It's not supposed to
Reviving
gape.
fear factor. I'm calling up Joe Rogan now. All right, we're testing.
Oh,
Go ahead.
God.
You know what? And I will happily put
Yeah.
forth the funding. I will run. I will get as much money for you as I can, so you can test how many spiders can crawl into your asshole at the same
No,
time.
your asshole. You think you got a punch for a
This is no. The point is not me. I want you to prove it. You've put forth the concept. Now you have to prove it. The quote unquote burden of proof is upon you. How many spiders can
God.
crawl into your asshole, Mr. LM?
No,
His colon,
no,
his
no,
colon
we're
is
not
gonna look
doing
like
this.
Sheila's
We're not-
there.
I
in a
feel
week.
like this is
So
one of
next
those.
subject, right? So I'm burning things right now. Let's talk about lighting shit on fire. Can we talk about that instead of how many spiders can go up anybody's assholes right now?
I
Well-
saw somebody hooked up like a pump that pumped gasoline through one of those squirting dildos and lit it on fire. It was fucking hilarious.
Oh, dude, I was. Wait, what? Is there a video of this?
Yes, look it up. Just like I think it's.
That sounds like a
I saw that, and
hilarious
then I
suicide.
saw one where somebody put a squirting dildo on like the hood of their car and hooked up their windshield washer system to it and filled it with like milk. And then when people would walk by, they just click it and it'd shoot out like a 6-foot stream of milk.
That's amazing.
Wait a minute. That sounds like
Sorry.
that sounds like the
I've
time I went
witnessed-
to see the Beastie Boys. They had a 10-foot dick on stage that shot foam into the audience.
My car got a little excited.
I've witnessed that windshield trick happen with beer before. It is possible.
Nah, what you do is you just give old Betsy a quick stroke on the hood. She'll feel a lot better about that. She'll quit squirting at you.
Wait. here's
My
the
question is, why does old Betsy have a dick?
Betsy used to be Bobby, but you know, whatever.
She just,
Look.
She's transitioning from a sedan to 4x4.
When
All right.
when Betsy first came off the line, she was Bobby, but then her tranny got changed out.
She got a brand new transmission, so now she's
God.
going through some alteration.
She's going through some changes.
Oh my God. Doc, what is happening?
You invited a bunch of people on the stream.
We're talking about tranny cars right now.
All I'm thinking
We
about
got
right
onto the
now is
subject
it's just like, what if you had enough of that bad? Okay, first things first. They make clear version of it.
Hold up.
If you had
stop,
enough, wait,
Stop.
hang on.
No, this is important. This is an important
No,
question
this is
before you go
very-
further.
Okay.
All right. Why does this particular supposition you're about to make need to be made? I can only think of so many directions you're about to take another cum lube conversation.
Okay.
Why does this one need to be gone in?
Okay, hang on. This shit is so slippery. I'm just if you really
My
wanted
God.
to fuck with
Oh my
somebody,
God.
if they had hardwood floors, you just take the clear version, you spread that shit everywhere. You won't see it. Like seriously, you'll just be walking, you'll just slip, fall on your ass. You won't be able to get back up again.
Wait a minute. So
It's
murder.
like that episode of Jackass where they had, or not the episode.
Murder by cum lube. You find a rich old
Hey,
biddy. You
Not,
go
I'm not
to
saying
her
put it in the
house.
bathtub, all right? Even though I've seen that done. That's how you break someone's neck. No, you just put it on the floors. Fuck with people.
No. You find some rich old broad. You promise her a really great time. You cover her shit in cum lube, and boom, make sure you get that inheritance. There you go.
Well, I mean, if you put enough dildos in places, I bet it would look like an accident.
Yeah. Well, you have to get them up in her at some point.
I mean, not
So that
necessarily.
they have her DNA on them, because you can't really. You know what? We're not talking about this. What the fuck is wrong with me? God damn it!
Well, I can name a few things, but that would be telling.
Oh, honey, go ahead.
You invited all of us to the stream.
Hey,
Mhm.
Did I say good morning, Anubis?
Hi, Anubis, and yes, that is Poppy. You're Poppy anti. Because apparently, yeah, that's how this is going now.
Who's what?
Anubis, he's saying
He's my
hi.
dad?
Lower rises.
No, you're his daddy.
I'm his. What?
Yep.
He's calling
I'm-
him daddy.
He called you Poppy.
When?
Yeah.
Where?
Because you're okay with being called daddy in a different language. So
I,
he's
I
calling you Poppy now.
suppose. When did this happen? Was I awake for this?
I don't know. Did the roofling wear off by then, Anubis?
Again, Kadant?
I can't help it.
I thought I told you just to ask. You didn't need to roofie me.
Well,
This
you
is like
kept
the
asking
sixth
for
fucking
kink,
time.
dude. Hey, it's not my fault. You got. I'm not gonna kink shame you.
It's not my kink, though. It's yours.
Don't kink shame me.
And good morning, everyday man.
Because I add some roofie to the Viagra, like, doesn't mean shit.
I don't need the Viagra either.
I
Adding
know you
roofie
don't,
to
but when you're
Viagra.
passed out from the roofie, you do.
Huh.
Look, I'm
This went to a really bad place.
Doc.
and
I'm really
sorry.
Doc. I'm really
Hey,
sorry.
at least my
Yeah.
lube shenanigans were consensual.
Very, very
Um,
loose.
Oh,
Anubis says that he gave you $15, Kadant, for a good deal. What?
I got
what?
pictures as well.
What good deal, Kadant?
Nothing. Just accept the fact that you're now his Poppy.
I'm very confused, and I would like to know what's going on. There was an exchange of money, and I'm now being called daddy by strange men who I don't know.
Oh, you know him better than you think.
My God.
yeah.
Apparently
Anubis, while
she-
this conversation was going on, I went and refilled my my water mug, took a pee, and checked my butt for spiders.
Always a good choice. I'll be checking mine later.
Yeah. Just got to be sure.
And
Wait a
good
minute.
morning, Azalea.
Wait
I
a
have
minute.
Hi,
I
Delia.
have a question here.
Kadant
What
has
if they-
nude pictures of me. What did
Yeah,
you
you
give
do.
Anubis?
You
Oh, no.
gave me the nude pictures, love.
What did you give Anubis?
Permission to call you Poppy.
You sold permission to call me daddy for $15?
Otherwise, he was gonna get murdered.
I have a question here.
Okay.
Yes.
Would a facehugger be considered an arachnid? And if so, I
Are
mean,
we
you
still
could-
on ass spiders? Is that where we're at right
They
now?
could a facehugger not be an
Oh
ass
my God.
spider?
No, they're not considered arachnids, and they don't go for your ass. They go for your face.
What if your face wasn't available?
They wouldn't go for your ass. They would try to find your face.
I think in the proper circumstances, it could happen.
I think you're just fantasizing about face huggers attached to your ass.
That sounds. I honestly
Wow,
don't know
wow.
that-
All that said, he has no. There's no response for him right now.
Hey,
He's just like, yeah,
I can't. No,
you got me.
I'm trying to think if it'd be worse to have a facehugger in the ass or a facehugger on the face. Because one of them's gonna burst out of your stomach, and the other you might shit out.
I think it'd be
Well-
worse just to have the face hugger anywhere.
Well, wait a minute. What if it was a if it was a vag hugger?
I mean,
I'd watch it happen.
yeah, it exists, not in real life, but
Look, man, it's the
Rule
internet. There is
34.
porn of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, there's
And
always
they make-
porn of it.
that reminds me. There's a company that makes like egg positor things. You know, dildos that shoot like.
Oh, Bad
gelatin
Dragon
eggs.
does that.
God damn it.
No, it's not Bad Dragon. It's Primal Hardware, spelled WERE.
Yeah, no,
So let's be honest here, LM. How many eggs you shot in your ass?
I've only had one thing in my ass, and it was a prostate massager once, and it was a
love-
very bloody, very poop-filled experience.
I love how he like starts it up like it was only one, and he has to like real quick be like,
Hey, I'm being honest here. I tried it. I was bi-curious, and I tried it once, and it was nope, never doing that again.
Did anybody
Well,
notice
I,
how
for
he was
one, think
only
there's
bi
entirely
curious
too much
until
honesty
after
on
it?
this show.
I was bi-curious, and I was definitely not bi.
I would
after that.
I would say
Hi,
good
Joker.
I would
and,
say good morning, Joker, and run.
Yeah.
Run while you have the ability to.
Yes,
don't run,
run.
Joker. If you got,
Run very
if
quick,
you want, I
Joker.
will link you, Joker, so you can come and talk with him.
This
oh
is
my
the
God.
this is the Hotel California
One of us.
of conversations.
Joke,
Joke.
unless you want ass spiders, run right now.
Joke. Everyone in this stream is. Everyone in this stream is doing Sloppo Coke. Joke. Don't join up. Stay out.
Anubis is saying, what about vag hugger anti-feminist face huggers?
I'm pretty sure it's a thing. Like, I'm sure that exists somewhere.
Oh,
If
God.
you look, you'll find it.
More than likely. I don't need to... oh,
Google
Doc,
it.
what did
this
I
is-
do? How did I let this happen? Why did you tell me to just link people?
How could this happen to me?
Yeah, this has
I
been one
made
hell of
my
a debuting
mistakes.
stream for me.
Hi, welcome to the Insomniac Ramble stream, Jolly. I swear we're not
Oh,
normally
so glad
like
to
this.
be here.
If anyone listened to my stream earlier when I got invited on Director Arcater's stream, it has not changed. This has been me all day. It's been pretty goddamn bad. Poor
Well, at least you're
Arcater.
consistent.
I don't think he expected what happened on his stream. There were accusations of 4 titties and breasts with giant fangs, and it was very awkward.
Oh my.
What's this about your fantasies?
Well, let me tell ya, they don't involve prostate massagers.
Oh yeah, that's more my nightmares myself. Just
No.
if I have to tell this story, I gladly will. Because it's a very horrible, very funny
You
but
don't-
horrible
Of course.
story.
Listen, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Yes, Colta Krill, you can hear a kitty. Doc
Some-
has a kitty that is in heat. Anubis is asking, so if you take laxatives, does that mean you can get rid of the anus hugger put in your butt?
I think if you have a strong enough anus, you won't need laxatives. But then again, you probably need a pretty loose anus.
God bloody damn.
Hey, ass hugger logistics sounds like a very fun topic. I'm
Hi,
just saying.
kitty.
Well, I mean,
What?
to be fair, it's just like that episode of Venture Bros. Ass control is very important.
You know what, kitty? I pressure pointed you like less than 2 hours ago.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to
You are a
explain to
whore.
Trippy to do, and he's like, "I'm not gonna stick." He keeps saying, "I'm not gonna stick a Q-tip up my cat's vagina." I'm saying, "That's not what you do. You pressure point." There's like that shit actually works, but it only works for like an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Well, it
so-
usually works for about 4 hours. Now she's just being a whore.
At least he knows what she is.
Yeah.
But at least she's a fluffy, adorable whore.
Yeah.
Was that a note of lust I heard in that voice?
If that's lust, then you really need to check yourself out,
Hey,
bro.
Anti, not everybody has a cat girl fetish.
Damn it! I thought it was everyone.
Ready?
Not
Is it just
everyone.
me? Fuck.
It's not just you. I can promise you that. You're not the only one who likes the fact that I wear cat ears.
If we could just get you to work on wearing the cat tail, it'd be even better.
You know, I'm not sticking anything like that up my ass.
I mean, we could negotiate, right?
No.
I mean,
just no.
Duct tape
If
is a thing.
Anubis can pay you $15 just to call me daddy, I'm sure we can work something out.
Hey, nothing
Ass
goes
hugger
in the
logistics
shithole.
sounds like something the Pink Mafia would run as a psy-op. Yes, it does, Azalea. And I have no idea what's going on either, Geo. Eric is saying his cat is sitting on his desk staring at the speaker. Hi, kitty. And Anti has a Catwoman fetish. That explains Antoine.
Well, I wasn't gonna say nothing, but let me tell you this. The first day Antoine and I meet, I can't wait to wrap my masculine hands around his delightful little cat-eared face. Been thinking about it for days.
I just all I can think of is a deliverance-esque scene with "Meow for me, kitty, meow."
Make them little kitty noises for me, boy.
Purr. Purr like a kitty.
That's right. Now, why don't you press your head right up against the zipper and purr for daddy?
Whatever you want.
I mean, please don't say it like that.
I'm not calling
God.
you daddy though. Like that's still a rule of
Yeah,
mine.
Daddy and I Poppy are the two things I cannot stand.
Like
I don't care
honestly-
if like it's the hottest or like the woman I find the most attractive in the world. If she said that during any sort of sexual encounter, either of those, I'm just pulling up my pants and fucking leaving. Like
I don't mind it in other languages.
like
Because
if
I don't
it,
speak them.
yeah, if it's not fucking Spanish or English, I think I could deal with that.
Yeah, I don't like I said, if it's not in English, even if I know what the word is, if it's not in English, I'm okay because English is the only language I actually speak. Because I don't associate them together in my head, you know what I mean?
You also speak a little bit of Spanish.
Yeah, but I don't think in Spanish. I think in English. So even though I know the words for Spanish, again, I don't. It's not associated like that. So I know that Papi means father, but it doesn't click for me the way it does for someone who fluently speaks it.
I know enough Spanish to know what it means, and it's just creepy. It's just
To
creepy.
each their
That's all.
own.
Well, I mean, fair enough, so long as it's consensual. But like, there's also such things as scat fetishes, and I do
Oh
not.
no, those are just beyond me. No, thank you. I'll puff pass.
Speaking of fetishes, for the
Yes.
no context tweet, Kadant, ask ask Muffin if this does anything for her.
She just gave me some side eye. Like the fuck is Talk posting now?
You know, honestly, no, and that's just because like I've had that shit get in my eye before, so it goes in me or it goes nowhere.
Yeah, same. Like you, it's either going down my throat or up in my twat. Like you don't put it on my face if I can help it. Now, if that's really your thing, just avoid the eyes and the nostrils and the hair. Like mouth down, fine, shoot it wherever.
Like, if
But
you throw a necklace, put it all
like-
over my giant tits. I don't care, but don't.
oh god, I love the feel of it on my tip.
I don't. I really,
I-
honestly don't.
no,
actually
I-
like the feeling of it anywhere except for inside of me.
No, I really like that's definitely my favorite place, but like on my tits is definitely like really okay. I don't know why it always has been. And mostly I think it's because like it's easier for me to just like clean up afterwards because like I play with my tits all the time anyway. So if you put it like in the small of my back, I'm a little irritated because it's a lot more difficult for me to clean off, and I'm not going to ask you to clean it off. And plus, even if you put it on my tits, like I can always just like lick most of it off anyway.
All
I
I
would
can
just
think
like
about
to
now
point
is
out-
somebody having a fetish where they come on the part of your back that you just can't reach.
For
That'd be
those
the
of you who
worst.
are,
I've
Sure.
never had anyone come on my back, so I guess I wouldn't know.
I've never had it happen to
I
me
can-
either.
I can fix that for both of y'all if you just give me the word. Just get in there nice and deep like and take care of some problems.
Sorry.
I really like
don't
your
do it.
other no context tweet.
Oh, I'm
He's-
just
he's so- it's his reaction for sure. It's got to be his reaction to what in the stream. Oh, sorry. Hi. So we were talking about anyway. Well, let's move on with the subject. Let's segue from
I've got
jizz.
one more for you, Kadant.
Oh, what?
boy.
Hi, John Doe.
Oh
How are
my.
I know, right, Azalea? It is. I hate it when it's in the. I hate it when it's in the hair.
Oh,
It's
that's the
not
worst.
I've never gotten it in my hair. To be honest, if any dude tried to jizz in my hair, I'd be really fucking pissed. So, like, do you have any idea how long it's gonna take me to get that shit out of my hair?
Because it doesn't just come out with a shower. It doesn't. It doesn't matter. Like you have to. Oh, it's so annoying. Like just again from the nose up. Like don't.
No,
But,
you hold
like,
up,
mouth
because
down.
I'm starting to feel insulted here. Like, do you think that the men here don't have body hair? Like, we haven't had to try to, like,
Yeah,
get
it's pretty
jizz out of
horrible.
our fur? Like,
Is it-
obviously, we've
you know-
never had it in our head hair, but we do have an idea of how difficult that shit is to clean up. After all, it comes out of our dicks.
No, the
you
worst thing,
wouldn't-
the absolute worst thing is when it lands in your hair, but you're in like a bathtub or a shower. Because for some reason, when cum touches water, it just solidifies into glue, and you have to like scrub that shit out.
Honestly, with my hair being
It's just
mixed
my
as I
face.
am, like I already break brushes in my, like, I go through at least one brush a year, just brushing out my hair every morning. So I don't want something that's gonna solidify into glue, because then I'm gonna have to cut all of my hair off.
Yeah, that's usually the
Um,
easiest solution.
Good
no, see,
morning,
I'm
good
good.
morning, John Doe, and no, the conversation has not just gotten weird. It's been pretty much weird all night.
I will
It's been a
take the
solid
blame
derail
for the
since we got on.
weirdness. I will take
Hey,
the blame for this.
I am very much to blame, but then again, I've had plenty of weird experiences.
I did have a
Yeah.
girlfriend once who was very interested in trying facials, and so we attempted it. And what we discovered is that it's not that great looking in real life, and B, it's fucking hard work, man.
Oh, you just weren't doing it right.
Clearly, but it just
Dude,
doesn't.
see-
In a porno, it's okay, but outside of porno, I'm just not interested in facials at all.
Okay, the
Hydration is key.
thing I don't get is you guys must be fucking low yield dudes, because I have to put up the fucking hand shield when I was younger. Anytime
Yeah,
like I
it's-
masturbated, because if I didn't, then I was taking my own shot to the face.
That's what a sock is for.
No.
No, that's what knowing how to aim is for. Sit on the
I've-
toilet and fucking easy
I've-
cleanup.
I've never had that particular problem. Of only one time I've ever had to worry about it, and that resulted in agony. We won't talk about that terrible story.
Hey, they did.
Oh,
But
no.
usually you just put it in. Just put a sock on that shit.
Or you
No.
Just
No. Just no, I'm a dog here. No.
If I'm putting
Like-
it into somebody, yeah, condoms are cool, but that condom is coming off at the moment of climax, because I'm not going to deny anybody the ability to drink from the fire hose.
I'm talking about when you're doing solo there, Doc.
Um,
Just put a sock on.
No.
You ain't gonna worry about shooting yourself.
No.
I have
No.
respect for socks.
So do I. That
No,
sock
just-
should be fucking cherishing the fact that it's touching my dick.
No,
then you don't.
no, that's why they invented towels. I don't know why people invest in a Kleenex. Just get a decent towel and then, throw it in the washer the next day.
That's how you get athlete's dick.
My dick is athlete's dick free. Thanks though.
Hi, God Botherer. He's saying he uses a shower and a computer desk, not in the bed anymore, too sweaty. Well, sometimes, you know what? Sometimes, though, like, because I'll get sweaty, too, when I'm laying in the bed. By the way,
I know,
nothing.
I've seen
I'll
it.
totally clean up that stain. But nothing.
Kadam was
you're
very
away, I
happy
don't-
earlier today.
No. Hey, I haven't had a chance to test out my own bed yet.
Hey, no. Don't worry. It's just me.
That doesn't make me feel better.
But
Let's just say that I get my
but here-
rocks off with the
wait,
socks off.
sometimes the feeling of the bed being on the mattress, like it's just kind of one of those things. Especially, it's a thing. Like, I don't know. I'm a female though, so like I can't just sit at a computer desk because it's not right. Like, I like to be able to stretch out when I'm anyway. So how's everybody doing tonight?
And Gio, to answer your questions, yes, I've jerked off at your window, but not at mine.
Y'all
I
need
like
to
to
become civilized and learn how to jerk off in a toilet like a normal person.
I like to jerk off while Anubis stands on his front porch jerking off. I fapped both him and the terror in his neighbors.
Well, I mean, Anubis didn't pay me $15 for nothing.
Fuck.
What's
That
going on?
reminds me some shit. When I was younger, and the way my bathroom was set up, it had two mirrors on either side of the toilet, and so it would have this eerie effect of like reflecting for like hundreds of times. So there would be like 100 reflections of myself while just taking a shit, and masturbating it there was like the weirdest experience because it's not just you; it's you and like 100 other yous.
Yeah, but you still did it, didn't you?
Fuck yeah, I did.
This is a level of depravity I wasn't expecting.
Well, there's a lot worse you could be. All right, I ain't into piss or shit fetishes or anything like that. So,
Mr. LM, a man who only needs one partner to be turned on, himself.
hey, that shit didn't turn me on. It was just trippy, and I don't mind trippy shit. Not literal trippy shit. Sorry, trippy.
Can I go now?
Guys, so let's move on.
Can I?
Yeah.
Can I go now?
Yeah. You sure, Doc? You can go ahead and go. How's the kitties doing? Did you pressure point her again?
Yeah,
Like,
she
it's
sounds a lot quieter.
Yeah.
No, I gave her the squirt bottle, so she's down the hall.
Well,
So
either way,
she's
you got your
begging for
pussy
dick
wet.
somewhere else. She's mailing for dick somewhere else.
No, she can just go claw everything. She comes up and starts batting my damn leg, like that's gonna make me pressure point her. Reminds me of a
Anta, I don't
girlfriend
think
I had in
you
junior
look-
high school.
See, I don't think Anti's really thought through the cat girl fetish. Just imagine. She'd be clawing at your face if you ain't fucking her.
He knows.
I honestly fail to see the problem here.
I mean, fair enough. What if you just like you're already like 3 in and you're just down for the count? You're just shooting blanks at this point.
But then you just shoot blanks. I mean, that's someone's got to take one for the cat girl team. You know what I mean?
You're just gonna be taking handfuls of Viagra just to.
Just as a part of my daily regimen, you know, just wake up and immediately pop a little blue pill.
Oh, that actually reminds me of a story of. No, this isn't a bad story.
All right, so we're going to change the subject again.
We're gonna try.
We're going to try. Oh yeah, I remember that picture. That's a good
Oh.
picture.
Well, I specifically say it's not a bad story, and everybody's like, I don't believe you. And no, it's not a personal story either. So.
All right. Well, what's the story then, Mr. LM? I will trust you.
Okay, some guy was trying to kill himself, and he wanted to go down to Tijuana to buy the chemicals in order to kill himself. And so he goes to Tijuana and gets in a taxi cab. And this is a true story. And the taxi cab driver's like, he tells the taxi cab driver his story, and the taxi cab driver's like, well, if you're going to kill yourself, you want to try some Coke? And the guy's like, sure, why not? Tries some Coke, ends up liking Coke. Then he goes to the whorehouse, and he, like, rents out, like, a suite with, like, a heart-shaped bed and, like, 4 women on call for, like, 2 months. And he was apparently taking handfuls of Viagra to fight the whiskey dick. And at the end of the 2 months, he decided, hey, I don't want to kill myself. And apparently it only cost him like $4,000 for 2 months worth of fucking 4 hookers in his own private like room.
And
all
the
the coke he
STDs that he contracted as well.
Is this
I
a
mean,
ballad of
yeah,
Andy
it's Russian
Whiskey, or-
roulette, but if you're gonna just think about his position, all right? He was gonna kill himself. Maybe he has herpes now, but at
And
least
now
a
he's got
happy man.
AIDS, which will kill him anyway.
Fair enough.
Well, I mean, okay.
Hey, Tijuana's a land of wonders. That's all I'm saying.
I suppose it's a land of wonders and donkey shows, I guess. But like, all right, so I especially when I was hookers. Yes, it's also the land of hookers. But when I was younger, I had attempted suicide quite a few times, but never once was I ever saved from the thoughts or the attempt by Tijuana in any way, shape, or form. I've been to Tijuana before. It was a nightmare for me. Like, I was just like, I don't know what this place is. I don't like it. I don't care for it. Like, ew, can we not? Things.
No.
I think Tijuana is more of a man's.
No, if you want to be
type thing,
really
not
dirty, go to Juarez.
Juarez.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Juarez
it's
is a
all
fucking
Mexico,
pit.
so whatever.
that's where Mexican filth goes to die.
And to breed.
A more
And-
wretched hive of scum and villainy you'll not find.
Right?
Yeah, it's kind of like Moss Eisley with Mexican accents.
So, like Moss Isley, then.
Yeah.
So it's
Pretty-
like Moss
pretty
Isley,
much.
just with more poppy.
It's like Moss Isley with extra cantina band.
Well, mariachi band.
That's what they were.
Okay.
They were like, that's all they were.
Okay, I will
Space
I will
mariachi.
tell this story about an adventure into Juarez, and I'm
Ooh.
not saying that I was a part of this story at all.
Okay.
So
Finally, Doc can talk.
a few buddies had a little R&R and decided to go down to Juarez, and of course, one of their main features down there is donkey shows. So they show up, they being people that I don't know at all, and the MC comes up on stage and goes, "We do have to apologize tonight because the donkey is sick. Unless we get a volunteer from the audience, there will be no show." And one of those buddies actually volunteered to be the donkey.
You better have a donkey dick, because I mean he has to fucking. That's
Uh,
a hard act to follow right there.
He was he was
volunteered to be the donkey or be with the donkey.
no, the donkey was sick, señorita. There would be no
Okay.
donkey that evening. So yeah, he had to fuck the chick that was fucking the donkey.
How'd
Yeah.
that go for him?
Well, you know that brother wielded about a 16-ounce hammer, so he did okay.
but-
we gave him
So
some applause.
instead of
Or
it
wait a minute,
being-
his friends gave him the applause.
So the moral of that story is, when in Mexico, wear really big gloves.
No, the moral of the story is, if you show up to a donkey show and your buddy volunteers, he should get paid.
Could he even feel the fucking walls?
I don't
mean-
know.
You'd be surprised by how elastic it can be.
I know
Like-
it can be, but when you've taken a donkey for the last 10 years of your life,
Hey,
I mean-
I feel like they're switching out donkey show girls pretty often.
donkey
feel like
show
getting
girls.
Well, how often do you think they do a donkey show? Probably
I
at
don't-
least once a week.
Well,
You
you
know,
know,
like
I
you
would
get
no.
dicked by one
It
nightly.
was a nightly thing.
Okay,
Which-
so
probably
if you're
hourly, it
getting
is
dicked by a
Mexico.
donkey nightly, you're gonna get wore out pretty fast. You're gonna need to take a break. So they probably got like 10 girls that they're just switching.
Out of
out.
all
We
the
didn't
people
make a
on this
vacation
stream-
of it to see who was going to be fucking the donkey every night. I mean, they probably rotated the girls.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think you could take a donkey dick every night for longer than 2 weeks without fucking going insane.
He's like,
Well, what is
"You drew the short churro. You had to funk the donkey tonight."
so
Yeah,
what
does,
Azalea is saying
is the pay
she,
good?
I don't know. He didn't get paid.
I mean, for Mexico, I guess it probably is.
But what Azalea is saying, she made the donkey sick and must have really done a number on him, I'll bet.
well, no. The really fascinating girl that was there was the pool ball girl.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
Pop, 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 pop.
No. This was an art. Literally, she put 6 pool balls in her pussy, and not we.
That's what happens
Friends
when people get
friends
donkey
would
dick
would,
too
would
much.
call out the number of the pool ball, and she would produce it.
No. That's what happens when you take too much donkey dick. They become the pool ball girls.
Yeah,
It's just-
but how
it's
does
like a
that
fucking-
happen? How
And
does
then
how does
after
that
that
happen?
gets stretched out, that's where they keep the kilos of cocaine.
No,
Li-
I have a
living
you
in
guys
the
are not
lower-
understanding. You're not understanding the principle. 6 pool
This
balls
woman
up
could
there.
select one of 6
Okay,
on
hush.
command.
Hush. Hush. Think about it. Digest it. There's no way in hell that she should be able to know which number's coming out, let alone pick the number and send it out. That is amazing.
It's probably like a magic show. There's probably some bullshit tricks behind it.
That's what I just said, though. is that
Penn
she
and
could
Teller
select
must
one
have
of
been in
6
the
on
audience
command.
trying to learn the secret. That is amazing.
All I can say is there are things I don't want to see a vagina do. It's fucking squeeze out a kid. Probably a pool ball trick. That's probably there too.
No, I want to see it.
So, hi, Gulf City Fright Supremacist, and
Good morning,
yeah, no,
Fright
I'm-
Supremacist.
yeah, I'm trying to digest that information. I was still stuck on the whole fact that like the pool ball girl, who was the chosen donkey fucker of the night, had to go probably for like I can only imagine like no offense to this guy, whom you don't know and we're not there, but you do know the story, Doc.
Guys talk, you hear things.
Yeah, but like it doesn't matter how big the guy is. Like a donkey will still have more length and girth. So I can only imagine she was going from like eye poppy to poppy.
Well, I would
Hey,
think
it's
it
a
would be
show.
more like, the clapper inside the Liberty Bell, just slapping against the walls, making noise.
Hey man,
Yeah.
I think it's not just a donkey fucking. It's a donkey show. In real life, most horses and like donkeys, they last for like a minute tops. So like if it's longer than a minute, it's a show. If it's not longer than a minute, it's a donkey fucking.
I don't know, but
Seems like one of us here knows an awful lot about donkeys and equine fucking.
I don't know.
I
but
just
my
know
brain
odd
hurts.
facts. That's just a thing of mine.
My brain is legitimately hurting right now.
So, what is making your brain hurt at this instance?
Oh, it might just be the time of the evening.
I know one guy who's never getting an invite back to this stream.
Oh no, I know two guys.
I was counting myself. Let's be honest here. The only person I was counting was me.
Oh God, damn it, guys. Pretty much, Doc is going to be like, all right, so never
Yeah, we're
mind.
never having these people on again.
Burn it down. Burn it all down.
Yeah, just gotta
Burn it
delete my
down and the
channel,
bodies
start a
with it.
new one.
I mean, it might not even be guys that aren't going to be allowed on this stream. He's probably just going to be like, I'm never going to let Kadunt on here just in case I decide to slip and let her choose people to link.
No, I think pretty much my housebound insanity has been cured, so I don't ever need to do this ever again. I'm canceling Tuesdays too. Wow.
We love you too, Doc.
I do amazing things. It's both a blessing and a curse of mine. I can help cure people insanity of ever having to deal with me ever again.
The internet is a beautiful, horrible place.
Isn't it though?
I love it so
Absolutely.
much.
So
Oh.
Jolly, this is your
Mhm.
first time on this stream,
Yes.
even though we've been trying. And I know shit happens and all that jazz and whatnot. But how are you doing? Like, do you got any fun stories you'd like to share with us? Not about donkey shows or anus huggers, preferably.
I'm
not
just
really anything in particular. I'm not that interesting.
Everybody's interesting in their own way. They just don't quite realize it.
I think what he means to say is he doesn't want to be that interesting.
Honestly, I'm thinking of.
No, I mean there's some
the
things
first
I could
episode.
contribute to the conversation, but I'm a little apprehensive here.
No, feel free. Don't worry.
Go ahead. I mean, you've heard what we've just said for the past
Well,
30 minutes.
Not
I
to
don't
cut
think you're
anyone
gonna
off here,
top
but
us.
This is Doc's stream, so let's see if Doc has anything he wants to pursue, though.
Oh, I'm just thinking about plotting out the first episode of Parry and Thrust. That's it.
Nah, nice.
You know what was kind of nice? I don't know if you guys caught any of the stream, but they had Magog and Undoom talked, and then they flipped over to Undoom's channel and continued to talk for, I don't know, maybe about 6 hours. Just talking about everything and nothing at all. And it was very nice because Magog actually said very good things about the IRS. And that made me smile.
He won't say good things about this one.
Well, I'm really glad that he's not in here right now because I would not like to sully his opinion of IRS.
Well,
actually, getting Magog in here right now would be a great thing because whenever Magog shows up, I can't talk anymore.
Well, he was.
I fanboy too hard.
Well, I mean, we were talking, porn star plots last night, so I mean, we were not at the same level that we are now, but we were close. But yeah,
why did I hear the unspoken thing of "Let's never be here again"?
It was implied.
Hey, if we can just set a record and then leave, I'm fine with that. Just like, how far can we get it to go? And then we're dip. We're done. We set the bar this high. Somebody else has to fucking beat it.
Well, if you guys want, I can ruin everything for everybody tonight.
I don't think you can
not
ruin
say we
me,
didn't.
but I'll leave that decision up to Doc.
Oh.
The last decision he made was allowing me to link people.
Well, I think he's had a very insightful look into what happens, so I trust his judgment.
I didn't like the match, but I'll watch it burn down.
Fair enough.
We didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning. Wow.
We have another karaoke stream tonight, Doc.
Oh,
would that be okay?
If you guys want to sing, I can't.
Yeah, I can't sing worth a shit.
I actually do have a question for Doc.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure you probably tweeted it, but I follow too many people now to catch up on tweets really easily. Who's your next big guest?
Legendary adult film actress Ginger Lynn Allen.
Oh, is she finally the next one?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are you excited about it? Are you looking forward to it?
I'll be honest with you. I'm a little more paranoid because my method is I'll book it a month in advance and then I'll call them a week in advance and then I'll follow up a couple days before. And
you're worried about a repeat of that one guy, huh?
Well, no, because he just flat out, when I did the couple days before, said, "Yeah, no, I don't want to do this." But I haven't heard anything back from her yet after the week contact. So I'm gonna drop another one probably tomorrow to see if I can get something.
Do you have a backup in place?
I usually do.
Okay.
But yeah, I just don't want to get dissed 2 times in a row by IRLs.
No, that's definitely a Debbie Downer on the whole situation for certain.
Oh yeah, but I mean that shit happens. I mean, I've had, it's probably been a 50-50 where I haven't been able to actually talk to an IRL guest until like a couple days when I send that other one. Hey, everything's cool, right? Do you need me to send over the Google Hangout tutorial? Blah blah blah. And usually they'll get right back to me. But she actually runs a website where she does photo shoots with the young stars. It's kind of more like a TNA thing. More like a self-pleasuring, not like, people fucking. So I can see where she'd be busy doing shoots.
So she's still active in the adult industry then, huh?
Yeah, she went from She went from actress. She got a chance to direct. She started her own boutique company, doing films under her name, and now she runs. Yeah, she essentially runs her website. I mean, you can look at her, nudes when she was at her heyday, or she's got a lot of the new stars coming in.
Okay.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting. I had a chance to walk around the site. So yeah, she is truly an entrepreneur, and she's one of the people that I want to talk to. I also put in a request to Stephanie Swift, who went completely the opposite direction. She's she's part of Porn Stars for Jesus. There's a church out there called the Church of the Triple X, and it's for reformed people who were in the porn industry.
Is that who fucking what's her name? Or no, she was never in the porn industry, but she was. Oh no, she was definitely in the porn industry. I can't think of her name. Pamela Anderson. She's like She's anti-masturbation, anti-porn now.
Well, that's because she can get Tommy Lee to fuck her. Come on.
Does he still fuck her?
No.
He probably would. He's already got Hep C, so why not?
Fair enough.
Sharing is caring.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
God.
I mean, come on. You got to respect a brother that has a Starbucks built in his mansion.
I've honestly thought about doing that, and I never thought of anybody or I've never heard of anybody doing it.
Yeah, Tommy Lee had a Starbucks built in his mansion.
That's pretty awesome.
I don't even like Starbucks.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, well, breaking a caffeine habit's a bitch, man. I had the choice between nicotine and caffeine, and I said caffeine.
Now, I understand that, dog, because I'm in construction, and I usually fall into the trap of both.
Oh yeah, when I was doing construction though, usually I dipped and then I waited till I get to lunch to smoke.
Yeah, there is so much dipping.
Well, and besides, it makes running power tools a lot of fun when you don't have caffeine.
Yeah. Yeah, the smoking thing is a bit of a hassle sometimes, because a lot of the places that I work are kind of volatile to sparks.
Yeah, I mean, when you see a guy light up next to an acetylene torch getting ready to do some welding.
Oh yeah, that's oxygen acetylene it's a wild beast.
Oh yeah.
Smoking's a crutch, and I'm content to hobble along.
You know, what's funny is when I first started oxyacetylene welding, I remember I used to take a lot of comfort in standing as close as possible to the oxyacetylene tanks, because if they did manage to blow up, at least I wouldn't survive through it. I wouldn't want to be that guy who wakes up and they're like, legs are gone, one of their arms is gone, dick's gone, and then for that like maybe 15 minutes before you bleed out, you're like, what the fuck?
Oh,
I'd rather be that guy that they got to like mop off the ceiling.
I like Fright Supremacist's idea. He would not build a Starbucks, he'd build a Hooters.
Oh, I like that.
Why not just get prostitutes and coke? That sounds a lot better.
I heard Hooters is looking at maybe going out of business soon.
It doesn't surprise me.
I'm okay with that. Their food really
apparently
sucks.
their business model is no longer viable in today's sociological climate.
Well, considering that when I had applied for Hooters, the guy who interviewed me pulled out a measuring tape to measure my bust size and my waist size, and my bust size was not big enough for what they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And that Hooters got closed down really fast because they couldn't find that many women within the specifications that he wanted.
Yeah, Hooters is pretty
Imagine
notorious for that. They have a thing where they don't call them waitresses; they call them something else, which allows them to have those kind of qualifications. Because if you're a waitress, you're not allowed to be discriminated against for things like, you know, bust size or height or looks or anything like that. But they don't call them waitresses there. They call them, like I said, something else. I don't remember off the top of my head. And that, like, it's a legal loophole that allows them to have that kind of requirements.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's dead air. Awesome.
Dead air is delicious.
I know, it's beautiful.
It's
Well,
tasty.
one of the things is like, they can't call them servers either because servers is the quote unquote gender neutral term. When it comes to food service industry, and I only know this because I was in the food service industry. God, I hate people. But I remember I'm trying to remember what it was that it had said I was applying for, because I had written on there for server, because of just like, I might as well just be a server because I have, you know, the experience to do so. But the positions that they had were named differently, so now I'm trying to remember what it was. Damn it, now you have me thinking, and thinking is hard. I avoid
Something
it.
tells me you'll be okay.
I avoid it as often as possible.
I'd still rather just go to a strip club where you can both eat and drink and stare at tits.
All right, now hold
Oh
on.
yeah, the buffets at strip clubs are pretty decent, honestly.
Yeah.
That's the
You
only
guys
reason.
eat at strip clubs?
Hell yes.
It depends on the strip
yeah,
club, but a
it's-
lot of them have really good buffets.
You
Yeah,
are not
no,
going
and
to catch me eating at a strip club.
No, it's
Oh,
just
are
like
you-
typical bar food around here, but
Are you
ain't nothing
kidding?
wrong with it.
There's a place called Diamonds that had the best lunch buffet. I mean, they had prime rib. They had tiger prawns, which are, you know, like 6 per pound count shrimp size. Wow. Their salad bar was huge, and it was so funny because we'd go in. It cost us $10 to go in, and it was all you care to eat. And we were shooing away the fucking strippers because it's like, God damn it, can't you see that we're eating?
Yeah, that's the only reason I could see myself going into a strip club, just because it's like, what, you're paying money to get a chub that, unless you pay extra money to go into one of the back rooms for them to not be prostitutes, quote unquote, and deal with it, you're just paying money to get a chub, whereas you can just do that for free on the internet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are very depressing, but if you go to one either already drunk or go to one and get drunk, that's whenever they're fun.
No,
I used to go with a group of friends back when I lived in Texas. We went to a little hole in the wall joint where we knew all the strippers and they all knew us. And I mean, yeah, they were trying to get some of your money, but at the same time, they were also really happy to sit down and talk with you and shoot the shit and whatnot. And if you said, "Hey, I'm not trying to spend any money tonight," they wouldn't try to make you spend any money.
Yeah, just don't say it too loud, because the bouncer's not gonna take too kindly
Yeah,
to that.
but that's very true.
Well, it depends on where you go. There's a place down in Southern California where a lot of my friends worked, and where an old boss of mine, that's where he used to get some of the girls for the
Hooters?
private entertainment kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah, just bachelor parties and shit like that. Like if guys wanted to order a stripper and kind of thing, or a lap dance and shit like that. This was where he would go because like these girls know the deal generally. Some of them were idiot dumb whores who actually, I guess, got his private business shut down because they would take extra money on the side to, you know, fuck the but you know, dumb whores be dumb whores. But like the girls that were there, like this, he's sitting there and he had called me for an interview, because he'd gotten referred for me by a different place that didn't hire me, but the guy like really liked my look and my voice and blah, 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 whatever.
Who doesn't?
Plenty of people. So
Idiots.
you have a bias.
And I'm with Auntie on this one.
Thank you guys. But I'd gone in there and he's eating like chicken strips or something like that. They weren't bad. They weren't bad at all. And one of the girls, like she actually wound up being the one to train me, so to speak. She came and she sat down and like the bouncer like walked by and he just like kind of, you know, waved at the guy and waved at the stripper. And then he came and sat down with us because I guess it was like us. It was, you know, afternoonish. Like it was only like 3. And so he came in and he sat down and chatted with us. And later the bouncer wound up becoming my driver. Because each of the girls, when they're going to, you know, a bachelor party or like a private dance or whatever it was, like whatever you were quote unquote ordered for, we had to, I think it was a legal thing, but we had to have a driver, and all of the drivers that my old boss had hired were all male, because he was like, this way, if there's any kind of trouble, I know that you guys basically have somebody who can come in, kick ass, and get you the fuck out of there. Because I guess that used to happen a lot.
Yep.
And so I used to go shopping with this guy too for his fiance, because he was like, she's kind of the same build as you, and like she reminds me kind of you, except blah blah blah. And it was so cute. They were really adorable. So we would go into this one sex shop together, and he would ask, because I was learning how to quote unquote be a dom, and he was like, what about these? Do you think these would be good? Because she wants to try some like kinky fun stuff. So I just took him to where I had been brought and showed him around, and we would talk, and he would tell me all this shit, and it made me really like warm up to the idea of the entertainment industry, I guess you could say, at least in that respect. Until again, like after I quit and I had left, they got shut down because a couple of the girls were dumb whores, and I felt bad because like they were almost all of the people that I'd gotten to meet there were really good people, you know. But that's when I learned to become a dom. I also learned how to do many other things. Mostly, I figured out that I know how to move on a pole, and I apparently know how to twerk, and I guess I'm really good at lap dances.
Oh
gentlemen, don't worry. I'll be testing the veracity of all those statements shortly.
And good morning, Joshua. Good morning to Joshua.
Oh, hey, Joshua.
Good morning and congratulations on your erection.
Backhanded slaps don't also work very well on men. It depends. There was one night it was I think my 3rd time I had ever gone to a bachelor party alone, and because like the first few times I always went with 1 if not 2 other girls, but it was like one of the first few times I'd gone alone, and it was at this like cheap dingy motel. Not surprised, and like inside were just a small handful of guys. What I didn't know was in the adjoining room, there was a whole nother group of more guys, and they were hoping that I was one of the the little side bitches who would, they paid a little extra and they all would get a chance to fuck me. And I was just like, nope. And I go to try and leave, and as I'm opening the door, one of the other guys fucking comes in from the front door and stops me and blocks my way. Next thing I know, like, I'm just like, well, fuck, I might be fucked right now. Next thing I know, Mike is there and he's fucking pulling this guy away from me and throwing him. And I'm just like, this is why I have a driver. Like, thanks, guys. And whew, like, y'all have a good night. Thanks for the money because y'all paid in advance. Thanks for the cash. Like, you know, I'm really glad that you guys, like, you know, paid the cash beforehand, because that was one of the rules, because they didn't want people to you know, dip out. And like, fuck, it was a fun little time. But one of my favorite moments was, again, going to, it was actually a nice hotel. I was really surprised by this one. It was just one guy, and he had this little side table, and on it was were two steaks and a candle and like a rose in a little vase. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck is this guy expecting? And he's like, I really just want to sit down and talk with someone. Like, I'm just feeling really lonely. So I didn't have to give him a lap dance or anything. Like, he just sat down and talked with me, and it was probably like one of like my favorite moments to this day.
Okay, well, I'm kind of curious. What was your favorite song to dance to?
Usually Rob Zombie. I switched between what was it? Living Dead Girl, Dragula,
Foxy.
Yeah. And then, okay, so there's this song called Angel that I really liked. It's like kind of a techno song. It's Send Me an Angel, and that one I liked too. But that one was I usually reserved as one of those fun little moments of surprise, because I would come out with like these knee-high fucking like platform boots and a black it was a shitty corset with black little booty shorts. And it was usually when we would do like pole performances.
I've heard nothing tonight that makes me upset.
Me neither, but this is all new shit to me.
It's a part of my past when I was growing my confidence. It's actually, again, where I learned to become a dom, and that's when I got into I started getting specified clients purely for the dom aspect. So like it switched over to that, and like I had instilled in me, you don't fuck these clients. Like, you don't. Like, that's we're not prostitutes. You know, like, what this is different. It is considered sex, you know, or sexual to some people, but you don't do that. And so like I wound up learning from fuck it. I wound up learning from Christine, who would become like kind of a really good friend of mine for a little bit, until again, like, it got shut down because it's stupid whores. But she was her main job was as a dom, and then she did the private performances and stuff like that. So that's how I wound up getting into all of that. Was like, there's some guys who wanted the BDSM aspect, so she started teaching me everything that she knew, you know, about all these different forms. And so yeah, I got to learn a lot, and it's a part of my past that I'm not really ashamed of, but at the same time, like, it's not something I'm looking to repeat either. Like, at least not professionally, even though it was some really good money. Like, It was really good money.
No, I mean, I wouldn't be ashamed of it. Honestly, it's an honest profession. There's a lot of people who, like, who come from jobs that most people would consider respectable, who are just horrible people on the inside and do horrible shit. Like most people who work on Wall Street, corrupt as shit, and it's like fucking strippers and shit.
Anthony
That's
Anthony
an honest day's work, honestly.
Anthony Bourdain, obviously before he died on his show, he went to Japan in one episode and he talked to someone who did shibari for a living. And she was also a dom herself, and she had a man who did shibari for her. And the constant thing he found throughout that, for the life of me, Anthony Bourdain just couldn't understand, which made me very upset because normally he's fairly open-minded. But is that these people who are doing it got this massive level of catharsis, and it was basically therapy for them. I mean, there's a reason that a lot of people who are doms professionally write down as their occupation sex therapist. So when you're talking about it being a decent, honest profession, I wholeheartedly agree with you. For a lot of people, it's a release they don't get otherwise.
You guys actually hear about the whole Anthony Bourdain situation, like what led up to his suicide?
No.
It was
Quote,
some fuck
unquote,
shit.
suicide.
Well, you know, Ozzy Argento, right?
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
Okay, so apparently he was madly in love with her, and she was like not
Fucking a
physically abusive.
17-year-old.
Well, she did that at one point, but what I'm saying is that she was she wasn't physically abusive, but she was like very controlling of everything, and so like she had him just like she was the puppet master, and she just controlled his life. And one of the interesting things about her, first thing was, she was one of the first like Me Too women, and she says that what's his name, fucking the Weinstein guy, I forget his.
Harvey.
Yeah, Harvey
Weinstein.
Weinstein, yeah. Well, she said that he sexually assaulted her, but then she proceeded to date him for the next 2 months after that. It supposedly occurred, so that seems kind of odd. Like, you don't date the guy who sexually assaulted you for another 2 months.
Yeah, you
and
do.
then
Sometimes you do, depending on circumstances.
I guess
really-
for a career, I could see that. But
What
No,
really-
no, not even for a career. If you're stupid enough, and I'm speaking from experience here, if you're stupid enough to make excuses for the guy, who sexually assaults, and I mean assaults repeatedly, or even just started it off with sexual assault. I don't know what her situation is. I don't care, but you can be stupid enough to think, well, it was a one-time incident, or it wasn't anything, or I was trying to do this or that. You can make excuses, and it happens all the fucking time. And I am again speaking from fucking experience here. Like it happens where you don't think about it, and especially if you are in some form of a relationship with the person, you will make excuses for them because you're just trying to make it work, because you're stupid and you're weak and you don't fucking know better, and you don't know that you need to stand up for yourself, and it's okay that you're saying that no, it's not, like that's not okay for this to have happened to me, because you're just like, well, I'm supposed to. A lot of women do wind up growing up with that whole mentality of, well, I'm with him, so like even if I don't want to, I'm supposed to.
Oh yeah, well, I've heard a lot of that in like teenage years, but like once you're in your like late 20s, I don't really hear. I mean, it's possible, but it's not very common. Anywho, what I'm trying to move on to is that apparently, like the whole Anthony Bourdain's family thought that she was just. I mean, she had him on. She was the puppet master, basically. She just controlled his life, and he was madly in love with her. And then, like 4 days before his suicide, pictures of her surfaced, like making out with a reporter in Spain, while she's in a relationship with Anthony Bourdain. And apparently, when he saw those photos, it just crushed him, and then he committed suicide later after, because like his whole world came crashing down, because he thought, oh, she only loves me, and we're both madly in love with each other. When he comes to figure out that she's just been using him the entire time.
Well, I think what really cinched Asia Argento as being an unpleasant creature for me was when it came out that she'd been screwing a 17-year-old. But more importantly, it came out that she'd been grooming him since he was roughly 11. And then she turned around and said that he raped her. That the grooming that she put him through was his fault. And that's why she's undergone no problems whatsoever. They even went so far as to pay the kid off when he was like, this isn't right. I don't like this. So I think that's pretty much what cinched it for me, as far as I'm concerned. I haven't heard the same thing you're saying right now, LM. I'm not saying you're wrong. Don't take that way. I haven't heard that much.
No, don't worry about it.
But I definitely don't appreciate her as a human being if that makes a difference there.
Oh no, that's totally fair. I think because I heard the same thing that you did about her with the 17-year-old, and I think she's a disgusting pedophile. So I don't know her story. I don't care about her excuses. What she did is like, I think she got off too easy. But that's just me.
Well, that's how it always, or I mean, it's not always like that, but it's most of the time like that, where it's like, oh, teacher sleeps with like a 14-year-old or something like that, and it's like, okay, like worst case, they get probation, maybe a couple months in jail, but like usually it's probation and like therapy.
Well, there was that one teacher. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that's because of, in my opinion, I think that's because of the societal look on how sex is. Like, if it's a young guy who's nailing the hot teacher, like, it's just like, high five, bro, kind of thing, you know.
I mean,
so it's less frowned upon, and so like the teachers aren't looked at as necessarily pedophiles. It's like, well, obviously the kid wanted it because look at her, she's hot. And it's like, no, that's not always the case. Like, it doesn't. She's still a pedophile.
It's difficult when it comes to a female teacher on a male student, because the male student, being a hormonal nutcase, as all men are, between the ages of roughly 12 till now. You know, if my teacher, Miss Mellon, had come on to me, she was ridiculously attractive, I wouldn't have turned her down at age 14, 15.
Yeah, I could see that.
Would it have been rape? Yeah, but it wouldn't have been a painful, horrible, traumatic experience. It wouldn't have been something I woke up every morning hating myself for, like if a male teacher had physically raped a younger student. Because that's not often how a female on male rape is committed. It's usually through coercion and seduction. Whereas, unfortunately, it seems more often that males tend to use the violence part of it. And of course, the violence bit gets reported a little more frequently. Whereas if you're a 14-year-old student whose teacher comes on to him, who are you going to report that to? I mean, you're going to go to the cops and be like, oh my God, I had great sex with my teacher?
Well, South Park did an episode on this, where I think it was Ike was sleeping with a teacher, and he goes to Stan, or no, who was it? It wasn't Stan. It was Kyle goes into the cops and is like, the teacher's sleeping with my little brother, and he's in kindergarten, and all the cops are like, nice. It's like, and they just go from cop to cop, and it's like, nice.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean, that's the odd thing with sexual trauma. It's like two people can go through the exact same sexual experience. And for one person, it can be extremely traumatic, and for another person, it can have no effect. And it's a very kind of odd beast, and it's definitely something that I don't think people should risk, just because, like, sex is what most people consider like or for a lot of people, it's like the pinnacle of your existence, especially biology-wise, where it's like that feeling right after a really good orgasm is like top level shit, not including like using heroin or shit like that. Because if you use like really good drugs, you can get experiences like that too. But now imagine you add trauma to that, and you make what's supposed to be the most pleasurable experience in your life a shitty one due to sexual trauma. That's a pretty fucking horrible thing.
Well, I had when I was living with some friends out in Nebraska, that was during my time period when I was getting basically blackout drunk every night because I didn't want to think about what my life was, what my past had been like. So I was doing a lot of drinking, and I started having ridiculously a lot of dreams about one of my roommate's wife.
Oof.
Not an attractive woman at all. Um, and then I woke up about the third morning of that happening, and I was sticky in my crotch. And now, to be perfectly honest, I was an adult then. I was 20. I wasn't having wet dreams. I mean, that wasn't a thing that was occurring. So I had my immediate suspicions, and I got pretended to be blackout drunk that night. And as I had suspected, my friend's wife came downstairs, got naked, and tried to get in bed with me. Now,
Jesus.
technically, that's rape.
Well,
However,
I wouldn't say technically. I'd say yeah, that's
well,
rape.
I say technically because as far as like, I was not conscious for any of the activity.
Oh yeah.
There was no penetration of me. Clearly, I enjoyed it. Uh, but, and that's not justification, the least. I'm just saying, to me, I have no recollection of any of this. So I don't sit there and this might be a part of it. I'm never going to go to the police and be like, this female raped me during this time period, 3 or 4 nights in a row. What am I
No.
supposed to do? I pursue this because it didn't happen.
No, I feel like that's a kind of it's almost like Russian roulette because say for example, you're in that situation and you go to report that to the police. I mean that fucking woman can just turn that shit right on you and just say this guy was getting blackout drunk and raping me in my sleep and I didn't want to tell my husband because X, Y, and Z, he's a good friend, whatever. And so you could go and report a genuine rape and then have that shit turned right back on you and it's like most of the time the cops are gonna they're gonna trust the advice or trust the testimony of the woman who's crying about it than the guy who's saying I got raped by her.
I wasn't even talking about that.
Well,
I'm talking more about the psycho because we were talking about the psychological
oh yeah.
trauma and whatnot.
Well, that's why I mean I'm saying this is part of it too. Like
John Doe in the chat asked if you have no recollection. How do you know how you enjoyed it? Well, I woke up sticky from mixed cocktail fluids. That seems like a pretty good indicator there. Clearly, I came. I must have enjoyed it on some level.
I mean, I wouldn't say that's necessarily enjoying it because there are like men can get boners from things besides sexual arousal, and then from there it's just milking it.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
I
honestly, all
tried,
right.
but
You saying that you enjoyed it because there's the mixed fluids, like, honestly, like it still counts, and it doesn't matter whether or not you did or did not enjoy it. But like even women's bodies
Yeah.
will react in a certain way, and it's
I didn't or did or anything like that. Nor am I trying to say that if someone enjoyed it, then it wasn't. That's not what I'm trying to say in the least.
Oh no,
What
we're
I'm
not saying that, man. We're just saying that
me,
like
specifically, I don't know. I don't even consider it really to be a quote unquote rape because I literally have no bad trauma about it. I know that it occurred, and it's this nebulous thing that happened, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
well, that's I think it's I mean, you may not consider it a rape. I think that is a rape, like guaranteed. It's just as I said, like two people can go through the same experience and one person can end up a lot more fucked up than the other person and the other person can have like nothing. It's like just another day of their life that it's like, oh shit, I stubbed my toe and that's it.
Well, that's why I brought it up though, is to corroborate your thought process there.
Yeah.
Which was, it affects everyone very differently. I have zero trauma from my experience, but somebody else might have the exact same experience and just be unable to think about anything other than the fact that they were used.
Yeah.
Or violated. Whereas for me, it's like, okay, maybe, sure.
Well, there's a longer discussion to have as far as what type of psychological precedent it sets. I'm definitely not going to get into my side of it. Too long of a story.
Oh yeah, I
But
mean, I got my
am
own
saying
story around
that
that
we're
shit.
going to close this out in a little bit, so it might be time to start doing some shilling.
Fair
Already
enough.
5. Jesus Christ.
Well, it's only 2 a.m. here. Lucky me.
Fuck, it is
Well,
5 here.
All right, so shall we start the shilling? Anybody?
I ain't got shit to shill, so next.
Well,
Same
no,
here.
like even if there's something that like you like listening to, you're like watching and stuff like that, just throw a link in the chat, talk about it a bit. Like feel free. You know, like something maybe that you watch or you listen to, or someone you follow who you're like, they should get more. You know, like I like their content and I want to share their content with people, kind of thing.
Subscribe to Moonifest Destiny. Enough said.
Say it
Lo-fi
again.
is the best waifu.
She really is.
Yeah.
Make sure to throw a link in the chat, please, Mr. LM.
Yeah,
Will do.
Yeah, she did
Thank
give
you.
me an electronic hug before she went to bed tonight.
What about you, Jolly Rogers?
I guess I'd go ahead and throw a shout out there to Killing Joke because he's a fucking baller. And I have no idea how to throw a link from my phone, so. But I'm assuming if y'all know Doc, you'll probably know Joker.
I mean, if you don't, then you should, because Joke he's a really fun guy. He's really fun.
Absolutely.
He's really funny. He's really entertaining. He has a way to insult you that makes you feel honored that he called you a dumb broad. You know, like
100%.
so yeah. And I'm pretty sure we got a link for Joker somewhere. What about you, love?
I have a. I actually posted something earlier on Twitter, so I'll just use that. I'm not going to put any links. I have a giant effing list here, but you can always replay the stream or go look on my Twitter. If you're not already subbed and paying attention to Director Arcater, you should be. He does some great stuff. Obviously, if you're on Doc Griffin's channel right now, listening to the stream, and you're not subbed to Doc Griffin, stop that. Go sub. Help for the Guildless is where I'm at on Thursdays. And also Sunday mornings. Feel free to go sub to that. We talk about random news stuff, sometimes in character, sometimes not. We try to have as much fun as possible. You should also check out Magog of Morscar. He's been mentioned a couple times here tonight, as well as the Savage Beard, the Beard Barian, who's also been mentioned, I think, maybe once or twice. Other than that, yeah, go ahead and everybody who's in this chat right now, if they've got a channel, or in this stream right now, if they've got a channel, you should go subscribe to them.
Yeah, my first official guest on Doctor on Call was Beardy.
I'd thrown a link to Beardy, but I wasn't sure if he'd be up. So I like to try and make sure I throw one to him.
Yeah, Beardy's still getting back into the groove right now, so yeah, you'll probably see him limited just on the streams and maybe on a side quest.
Yeah, but yeah. Wait, Anti, will you throw a link to Help for the Guildless, the channel into the chat, as well as copy the link to that tweet of yours, so that this way,
Sure.
the whole list is in there.
So here's the Twatter link.
Glad that.
And then if you give me a mo, I will go ahead and hunt down the link for Help for the Guildless.
No worries.
Oh.
And then I guess I'll do my final show. Doc's Streamlabs can be found in the description. And if you just so happen to like cute bandaged avatars on stuff like t-shirts and mugs and hats and totes, feel free to go and check out his TeePublic store. Give him money. Do it.
Where you can find the best bootleg Medicare merchandise.
I can't do that same one. Like that's your line you gotta give, because you do that so well, Doc. You always do.
Yeah, somebody tweeted out the Sweetie Squad shirt that I made, and I have no idea who this person is, but they tagged me in it. Medicare Fembot.
Oh.
So, I have no idea. I don't even know this
I've seen
person.
that one around in chat before, but that's about it.
It says, "Are you a good boy? Did do nothing? Then you need this shirt." Which is okay. I do stuff on Tuesdays. Ooh, lad, I am fucking out of it right now.
All right, so coming up this Tuesday, Doc is going to hopefully be interviewing the legendary porn actress Ginger Lynn. She's also an artist now too, right?
Yeah, that was one of the things I needed to get with her, because she's done like over 100 paintings.
Oh.
And I wanted
They're
to.
all vaginas.
Some of them are vaginal in nature. Some are chesticular. But yeah, there's the schedule for the rest of November. Hopefully, there's somebody out in the chat who has heard of Random Encounters. They have over 1 million subs. What they do is great. They take video games and turn them into 5-minute musicals.
I have heard of Random Encounters. I have several of their songs on my iPod. Don't judge me.
No, they're funny. They're good. And I don't know how much of their crew is coming in, but they're definitely up for it. And ending up the month is going to be the creator of the No Sleep podcast, David Cummings. And we're going to talk scary stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know if he wants to do a reading or not. We'll just feel it out, see how he's doing. But he also is a voice actor too.
I will tune into that, especially if you're going to actually talk about voice acting and how he does it and all that.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a jack of all trades. And No Sleep's been running for about 4 or 5 years. And they were I don't care what anybody says about how people were living off Patreon or whatever. David Cummings was one of the first people to ever do that, to take his business technically completely off of YouTube, but still use YouTube as an advertising platform. So we're actually going to talk about that too, because I find that to be incredibly interesting.
Good, because that'd be good to learn and figure out.
And I'm just putting up this picture because I like it. Yeah, okay, let me go ahead and get the final roll here. I would like to thank everybody for coming out this evening, especially the people who joined us on stream. That would be our lovely mascot, the Muffin Button, Mr. LM002, Jolly Rogers Bilgewater, and of course, Antihero,
who will never be invited back again.
I won't say that, because if my co-host is inviting you into the boudoir, there are redeeming values. But I'd like to thank everybody once again for coming out. I'm trying to kill time so I can get to the right screen so I can kill the stream.
Well, if anything, I would like to apologize to everybody, because I'm a sick, twisted individual, and I love hanging out with sick, twisted individuals who talk about sick, twisted things.
And we love you for that, Kadun.
The ass spiders.
Don't forget the ass huggers.
I'm not letting that one die either. I'm going to bring ass spiders up in every fucking stream I get invited to now.
Yeah, everyone, before you go to bed, make sure to check your anus.
Check your anal cavity for arachnids. Remember,
Oh.
folks, no one's anus is safe from the arachnid menace.
Only you could. That sounds like a goddamn Starship Troopers.
A saline enema can be your best friend. Do your part
Only
against
you
the
can prevent
bugs.
ass spiders.
That's what I.
Would you like to know
We're
more?
not ending this stream on that, Doc. Doc, go ahead and do the thing.
Spiders on the ass.
I'm doing my part.
God damn it! No, shut up.
Oh, shit.
I'm doing my part. I'm
Would
doing
you
my
like
part.
to learn more?
Would you like to know more?
All right, so Doc.
Infestations of anal spiders are crawling across South America.
Anti-hero. I swear to fucking God.
Would you like to know more?
Would you like to know less?
Backspace. I'm hitting escape. God
Delete
damn it.
this.
All right, Doc, did the thing pop up on the screen for you so you can close it out?
Service
I
guarantees citizenship.
I have that button ready to be fingered.
All right, you go ahead.
Along
and
with the
use-
spiders.
God damn it.
And thanks everyone for coming out. We appreciate it. Hopefully you're going to have a good Sunday coming up. Maybe pray at the Church of the NFL. But one last thing, if you do me a favor, just leave the money on the dresser.